Brewers take on the Pirates tonight at American Family Field.
Struck him out swinging at 103.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12:01. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, August 4th. Your top story, the weather heats up with rain on the way.
I'm Jessica Ty. Early voting off to a strong start.
Mostly sunny, increasing clouds today. A chance for rain later tonight and very likely in the overnight hours. Overnight low 68. Multiple rounds of rain expected on Wednesday. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, Decision Wisconsin. Early voting off to a strong start ahead of Wisconsin's August 11th primary.
More than 150,000 absentee ballots have already been returned statewide, with more than 23,000 of those cast in person. That's about halfway to the nearly 295,000 early votes recorded during Wisconsin's 2022 primary election. Dane and Milwaukee counties continue to lead the state in early voter turnout, accounting for nearly 30% of all absentee ballots returned so far. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
A sad development here. Search teams have recovered the bodies of two kayakers who went missing near Washington Island over the weekend.
The Door County Sheriff's Office says 20-year-old David Thalman from Dundee, Illinois, and 20-year-old Francesca Warwick from South Elgin, Illinois, were pulled from the water on Monday morning. The two were reported missing on Saturday evening after they were last seen on a kayak near Wickman Road on the east side of the island. Neither person was wearing a life jacket. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche one step closer to holding the job permanently after being advanced to a full Senate vote by the Senate Judiciary Committee. The confirmation comes after submitting in writing his opposition to the so-called anti-weaponization fund. However, ranking member Senator Dick Durbin says there's nothing to stop the Justice Department from bringing it back.
The Cop Beaters Fund can easily be revived with a new order from the Department of Justice 15 minutes after Mr. Blanche is confirmed as Attorney General. Indeed, the president himself has loudly telegraphed that's his plan.
The full Senate could vote later this week on Blanche's nomination.
The Idaho man who took action during a mass shooting outside an In-N-Out Burger over the weekend is now sharing a story. 3 people were killed and 7 others hurt. ABC's Trevor Alt has the details.
35-year-old Jordan Salinas tells me he and his girlfriend Emily had just pulled into the parking lot when the shooting began. As hundreds ran for their lives, Jordan drew his semi-automatic pistol and went toward the danger, seen on video repeatedly firing at the shooter. Authorities say an off-duty state trooper also took aim at the suspect, and the pair's heroic actions bought valuable time for people to flee.
The investigators say that you probably saved a lot of lives.
My goal was to try to help as many people get home as possible.
Police say the suspect also died at the scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
And the Brady Street Improvement District says its summer safety pilot program is being extended after launching earlier this summer.
Milwaukee leaders are keeping added safety measures in place on Brady Street through Labor Day weekend. The program began on June 25th and was only prompted to last 6 weeks. The initiative includes overnight parking restrictions Thursday through Saturday, more Milwaukee police patrols, and a public awareness campaign encouraging visitors to respect the neighborhood. The program was created to address concerns about reckless driving, loud music, loitering, and other disruptive behavior, while organizers continue gathering feedback from businesses, residents, and visitors. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Some major gains here. The Dow is up 1,000 points at 54,180. NASDAQ up 600 points at 26,521. And the S&P is also surging today, up 132 points at 7732. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Who's sliding into the rotation next? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option. using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call that's all sports desk. Brewers president of baseball operations Matt Arnold expects newly acquired starting pitcher Dustin May to slide into the rotation at some point during the homestand. May, one of 3 pitchers acquired by the Brewers in advance of the trade deadline.
You can never have enough pitching, and I think the guys that we got are pretty battle-tested, experienced guys. Talked about Dustin May and Jojo Romero and Antonio Santantella. Like, these guys have pitched in some big games, and they're tough and they're experienced, and so I think they're going to fit in really well.
Romero is expected to miss a couple of weeks after having his appendix removed. Santantella could be available out of the bullpen as early as tonight against the Pirates. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6:05. The Packers sign a long snapper and release kicker Lenny Krieg. The only kicker in camp is 6th-round rookie Trey Smack.
We drafted Trey, so we definitely have high hopes for him and understand that with all young kickers, there's typically some growing pains that are associated with that. But, just want to push him to be his best.
Two-time Pro Bowler Bijan Robinson and the Atlanta Falcons reached an agreement on a 3-year extension worth up to $75 million. That'll make Robinson the highest-paid running back in NFL history.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. The first thing I want to let you know about is an issue in Washington County. Heads up here, 145 North is closed at Holy Hill Road, Maple Road, because of a fire. That's actually something that happened earlier this morning, but that area is still closed, so heads up there. Wisconsin 145 is closed right now at Holy Hill Road, Maple Road. That's both northbound and southbound. As I take a peek at the roads closer to the city here as we go down to Milwaukee, we're looking not too bad, actually, even around American Family Field. Very little delays in our construction zone. There's a little bit of slowing after you pass the ballpark on 94 eastbound headed into the city, but it's not too bad. Looking pretty good, actually. Couple disabled vehicles downing the system, including this one. I-94 East, just a little bit beyond the ramp from Moreland Road out in Brookfield. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down.
Well, enjoy the sun while it's around. Mostly sunny the bulk of the day. Increasing clouds later on tonight. A high of 84. There is a chance for rain later this afternoon, kind of the early evening hours, a slight chance, and then chances increase overnight. That rain is expected tonight, a chance of storms, possible low 68. Multiple rounds on Wednesday. Wednesday's looking like a bit of a washout here. Maybe a brief pause in the action in the early afternoon hours, but 1 to 2 inches of rain accumulation possible at a high of 75. Early showers Thursday, then partly cloudy, high 78. Sun returns on Friday. A little more muggy with a high of 81, 85 the high on Saturday. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 84 degrees and partly cloudy.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Oh, settle in. Happy to be with you here until 3 o'clock. It's Wisconsin's Midday News. Greg and Jessica with you until Wisconsin's afternoon news. Brewers baseball later tonight against the Pirates.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
The Madison intersection where a man was shot and killed by police last month is now clear. Nearly 2 weeks after Corey Ruiz was killed, the encampment that grew at the intersection of Baldwin and Williamson is gone. City crews arrived this morning to move people out. Didn't happen without some issues, though. Protesters started a few fires that have since been put out. WMTV in Madison reports police arrested at least 10 people. But the signs and barricades are down now. The memorial is gone. Even the street sweepers came through. The mayor made it very clear over the last few days that she wanted that encampment to end. She said it was hurting nearby businesses. Madison police shot Ruiz after he pulled out a knife during a struggle with officers. He was 38 years old.
Democratic candidates for governor are making a final push with 1 week into the primary election. Today marks the official start of early in-person voting across Wisconsin, prompting candidates to target key high-turnout voter hubs around the state. The latest Marquette University Law School suggests 34% of voters are undecided. That's according to the poll director, Charles Franklin.
It reflects how slow this race was to develop. It's people not tuning in until these last 2 or 3 weeks of the campaign. But they are tuning in now. And if we push people who are undecided and say, if you had to choose, what would you do? Then we're down to about 14% undecided and not leaning in any direction.
Today, David Crowley is back in Milwaukee, touting the support of union leaders. Joel Brennan is scheduled to host a meet and greet in Hales Corners on Wednesday and a town hall in Beloit on Thursday. Both spent time in the Fox Valley on Monday. Meanwhile, State Senator Kelda Roys is hosting a meet and greet today in Burlington. Frontrunner Francisca Hong's campaign trail moves from Madison to Milwaukee today with a focus on working class communities.
Former Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers is making headlines again, this time for comments about Dr. Anthony Fauci. During an appearance on the Pat McAfee show, Rodgers criticized the former White House medical advisor. Here's part of a clip from ESPN. McAfee was asking Rodgers about the upcoming season, Rodgers' final year playing.
Can you tell us about the mindset of coming into your last season? Like, that's a real thing, it feels like, because is everything better? Is everything funner? Is everything more awesome? Like, how do you kind of view this year versus maybe the years of the past?
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Okay. Okay.
Like
Gotta
that.
love that guy.
Okay.
Like that absolute coward, Tony Fauci. Absolute coward.
Yeah.
Hey, it's back,
Are
baby.
you kidding me?
Yeah, 111
You
times.
got a pardon and you're in front and you pleaded over 100 times at the White House? What are you scared of, Tony?
Yeah.
I thought you were the science.
Yeah.
Rodgers calling Fauci an absolute coward after he repeatedly invoked his Fifth Amendment rights during highly contentious testimony in the Senate last week. Rodgers has been an outspoken critic of Fauci and the government's handling of COVID-19 for years. He also had the situation back in 2021 when Rodgers was still with the Packers and he said he was immunized ahead of the NFL season. It was later revealed Rodgers was not vaccinated against COVID-19.
It's 12:13 on WTMJ. Just getting started. Follow along here on YouTube. Check out our podcast page, built by Sonic Unlimited.
Sports parents know the countless hours and dollars spent on practice, games, equipment, training, travel. So when an injury happens, why don't we invest in recovery too? Vince Vitrano for MD Hyperbaric. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy supports the body's natural healing process, whether it's recovering from injury or a concussion, because it's not just about getting your athlete back on the field. It's about helping them recover for school, work, and life long after the season ends. Learn more at mdhyperbaric.com.
Hey, thanks, Vinny. Sounds good. Horicon Bank, founded by inventors focused on your business. Wonderful people at Horicon Bank have made it what it is today over the course of 130 years. That is an incredible accomplishment. 130 years of doing banking differently in the state of Wisconsin for you and your business or your family. It's Horicon Bank, getting the job done with financing requests that can be approved in days and not weeks. Your banker understands you and your business and how product and services go hand in hand. They get the job done. With newer branches now open in New Berlin and Menominee Falls and West Bend and Grafton, Horicon Bank is getting the job done now in more places than ever here in the state, and it is a state bank. Everything local about Horicon Bank. Truly the natural choice and member FDIC.
Get your rock solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talent acquisition at goodkarmabrands.com.
Well, overall, pretty nice day today. A high of 86 degrees. Some clouds will roll in later on. Chance of rain sparks up sometime in the early evening hours. Much better chance of rain. In fact, rain is likely tonight with thunderstorms possible at a low of 68. Tomorrow, multiple rounds of rain with maybe a brief lapse in the wetness in the mid-afternoon hours, but expect tomorrow to be quite wet. We'll get better details on that with Lindsay Slater, or Lauren Larson, I should say, coming up at about 1:35. It's 85 degrees, partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:16.
A plane carrying rescue animals landed in Milwaukee this morning, giving dozens of dogs and a few cats, too, a fresh start in Wisconsin. The flight is part of the nationwide Clear the Shelters campaign, which just kicked off. 60 animals arrived on today's flight, including a young dog named Lavender and her 9 puppies. The executive director of HAWS, Maggie Tate-Techtman, joins us live with the story. And Maggie, are you surrounded by new 4-legged friends right now?
We sure are. It's so exciting.
Okay, so this plane landed in Milwaukee this morning. We're taking a peek at some of the pictures here. We have them up on our streaming feed for everybody if they're watching on YouTube or social media. We're getting them up right now. And it is just a sight to see these dogs in the kennels and the crates coming off the conveyor belt. Where did all of these animals come from, and what conditions were those shelters facing?
So all of these animals came to us from some of our partner shelters in the southern region of the country, mostly in the Louisiana area. And a lot of those shelters are facing overcrowding situations and really a lack of resources to support all of the pets in their care, which is where we come in to provide some assistance.
So, Meg, you mentioned they come from out of state. Are shelters in Milwaukee, southeastern Wisconsin, the state in general, also seeing some of these challenges with overcrowding?
They absolutely are. So we actually also partner with MADAC to bring in animals from the Milwaukee area to our facility as well. It is about kind of helping our local partners as well as the greater country in need.
So, Maggie, walk us through what happens here. All of a sudden, the doors of the plane open, the conveyor belt comes off, the kennel's down. Once those animals touch down here in Milwaukee, what's next?
Absolutely. So they come to us and they go through, a lot of them, and you can actually tell in some of the photos, recently just had a bath. So bath is kind of number one on the list. And then they will go for spay and neuter surgeries as needed, and then they will go on to the adoption floor as soon as possible. And if we identify in that process, as our vets are taking a look at them, as our team is working with them, if anyone has some additional needs, we certainly address those while they're with us. And also we work to set the adopters and the families up for success. So if that looks like additional behavior support or additional medical support, those are things we are all prepared to provide as someone transitions into a new home.
So, Maggie, how early is the reach out to prospective adopters, people who are sort of quote unquote on your list? Do you reach out to them and say, hey, we've got this event, here's what's happening, can we count on you? Or do you really need that interaction between the prospective adopter and the animal before that transaction is complete?
So the way that we do it is, we let our friends in the community know that we have a new group of dogs that are coming in, and our doors are always open for people to come in and take a look at dogs. We do have individuals, it's really important that people are meeting with an animal to make sure that it's the right fit, and also just wanting to make sure that they understand any unique needs that pet may have. So really it is kind of a first come, first serve basis for individuals coming in who are interested in meeting and adopting.
Why are rescue transports like this one today becoming so important across the country? Is shelter overcrowding getting worse? I know a lot of times we talk about exactly what's happening here in southeastern Wisconsin, and when our shelters are full, we put the notice out to people. But what about across the country? What's that outlook look like?
It really is the same in that, we are looking at shelters that may not have as many resources as shelters in the Midwest have. So I guess I shouldn't say it's entirely the same. It can be the same to, it's varying degrees of need across the country. In shelters and overcrowding situations, we're finding everywhere that, I think we all see it and feel it when we go to the grocery store, when we go to fill our cars with gas, that costs are just rising. So really our goal is to help people we want to support pets kind of staying with their people. And we just see that impact, across the country. So really working on how we can help the animals in our care and get them into homes and support them comprehensively in doing so is really our main goal.
It's kind of a month-long initiative here, Maggie, but how widespread across the country is this? You mentioned some of the states where you're retrieving animals from, but how many other states are participating in the initiative?
Yeah, that is a good question. I believe that there are about a dozen other states and organizations that are participating in the Clear the Shelters initiative. I know there are several other organizations in Wisconsin as well that are participating, which is great. We have such a good relationship with our other shelter friends and partners. So we're really excited to see a lot of shelters participating in this, because the more that we can all do to raise awareness, the more we can do to support the pets that we all care for.
It was quite the sight this morning as a plane carrying rescue animals landed here in Milwaukee, giving dozens of cats and giving dozens of dogs and some cats a new home. Besides adopting, what's the biggest way people can help HAWS right now? Is it fostering, or what about volunteering? And maybe some people, is it just donating?
Absolutely. It really is donating their individual's time through whether it's volunteering or sharing a donation, whether that is dropping off a donation of food or a monetary donation. We are really able to stretch all of the gifts from our community to support the pets in our care.
Well, so cool. We're seeing some of the pictures of some of the pups here on our screen. If you're watching along on YouTube, or text the word watch to our talk and text line, you'll see what we're talking about here. It's quite a sight. It's quite a sight. These animals literally getting off of a plane in their crates, moving to a transportation vehicle, and ultimately being brought to a destination where they can hopefully meet their owners here and have a forever home. You mentioned dogs and cats. Are other small animals part of this, Maggie, or is this just dogs and cats that you've retrieved?
It is just dogs and cats this time, yes.
Are the flights stressful for the animals? Is anything done to help them settle in?
So I think it's varying degrees of, sometimes it is more stressful for an animal than it might be, for another, which it's not unlike humans when we fly. There's, different degrees of stress associated. So certainly we offer lots of decompression time, lots of snuggles, lots of really, our goal is to meet pets where they are, and to work with them from there. So we work with them, whether that's a medical intervention, behavioral intervention, while they are preparing for the flight, and then when they're with us in our care. So most of them do very well, though.
So Maggie, if somebody's listening to this right now and thinking, I'd like to help, and maybe we are the perfect home for one of these pets, how do they get in touch with you? How do they engage?
Yeah, absolutely. So people are more than welcome to come and see us, come into the building. Pets will be available. Some of them, I believe, are available starting now, but a lot of them will be available starting tomorrow after they have their spay or neuter surgery. Individuals can complete an application online or complete one when they get to an adoption application when they get to the building. The other thing that I will share is that we have actually had a very generous donor come forward and give us a large matching gift that we are able to offer all pet adoptions of dogs and cats for $50 through the end of the month to really help us clear out the shelter.
That is just fantastic. Right. And before you go, I don't want to forget, because one of the biggest stories from today's flight is Lavender and her 9 puppies. Can you tell us about that crew?
Absolutely. So she is just the sweetest, and her puppies are just so adorable. And, they're such an example of, needing the love and the care, and we're ready and here to provide it, and very excited for people to meet Lavender and her puppies.
Love it. That's the Executive Director of HAWS, Maggie Tate-Techtman. Thanks so much for joining us, Maggie, and good luck with all these new animals.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
When I was looking at these pictures here, I don't know. Some of these faces are just the most adorable, aren't they?
Well, that's
Extra
how they get
cute.
you. Yeah, it's kind of how they get you. No, but I think it's an incredible initiative here to try and, reduce the burden on these overcrowded shelters. But, for a number of months, and probably even going on a couple of years, shelters here locally have been overcrowded as well. It's been an issue that they're working through. And it's good to know that some of these are Wisconsin products, some of these are from out of state. But the common theme is that these are animals who need a home, and they need a home quick, sooner than later. So great that this group is focused on this initiative, and it's a month-long deal. Just getting started here. Hopefully these animals find a quality home.
Yeah, it's such an interesting sight when they open that plane door and all of a sudden out come the pups and the cats. I have heard, even just on commercial flights from flight attendants, they often say that even if a pup is a little, like not so sure about the plane, once the plane's up in the air, there's just something about like that low humming and the little bit of a vibration that oftentimes just kind of soothes the animal. I'm sure it's not for every animal, but for a lot of them.
It is 12:26 here on WTMJ, and we'll get you headlines coming up in just a few minutes. Rain on the way. We'll keep you updated on that, what it could mean for later tonight and tomorrow.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Wet basements and foundation problems? For over 20 years, Accurate has been the Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing. Whether it's cracked walls, drain tile issues, or water in your basement, they've got you covered. Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Call Accurate Basement Repair today at 414-744-6900 or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com. They're not just good, they're accurate.
And now about your house. It's where you live, but do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home, living beyond the wall. Your imagination may be somewhat limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
I'm confident that 90% of the listeners can look outside their home and dream of a better, nicer, way more outstanding backyard. If you're one of the many, you'll need to call Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited's expert team can design a beautiful, functional, usable backyard space. Then our team can build it. You dream it, we build it. New deck, outdoor kitchen, pavers, retaining walls, screen room. How about a must-see automated pergola that doubles as a screen room? Picture this, a pergola that allows the sunlight through the slats, but with the press of a button, those slats close and now you have protection. Another press of the button and the screens roll down. There's your screen room. The ideas are endless. We recently built a brand new deck with a screen room pergola on top and stairs that lead to a paver oasis complete with a fire pit and seat walls. Amazing. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, automated pergola. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build the amazing backyard. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
See all the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page, or visit their unique outside-in showroom in Waukesha. And if you're looking outside of your home, dreaming of a more beautiful and functional, usable backyard, well, Outdoor Living Unlimited can design and build you an amazing showstopper of a deck, patio, complete with pergola and fire pit, just like they did for us. With expert care, Outdoor Living Unlimited installed a beautiful paver patio, complete with land and stone retaining wall, all sorts of space, room for a built-in kitchen, and complete with a gas fire pit. It's where we spend all of our time. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
Downtown is more than a destination. It's a community where relationships are built every day, where neighbors become friends and friends become family. I'm Christina Bianchini with the Bianchini Experience. With 4 businesses serving downtown, we bring impeccable hospitality to every experience we create.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, protesters cleared out in Madison.
I'm Jessica Ty, identifying the man who died climbing at Devil's Lake State Park.
Sunny, increasing clouds, high 84. Chance of storms tonight at a low of 68.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Sources tell ABC News that President Trump called Congressman Max Miller, Ohio Republican, over his re-election campaign after accusations of domestic abuse, which he denies. ABC News Washington managing editor Catherine Falders.
Trump expressed concerns over his candidacy and said it was in jeopardy. Now, according to sources, Miller did tell Trump that he was going to stay in the race.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche was confirmed by the Senate Judiciary Committee. Blanche can only afford to lose 2 Republicans in the full Senate vote ahead. ABC News legal contributor James Sample.
Technically speaking, what changes is the title. Practically speaking, what changes is very little.
Oil prices are higher amid uncertainty over the Strait of Hormuz. Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
Suffice it to say there's been progress made in those talks, but not finality yet. We're hoping that will happen very shortly.
A man is arrested accused of starting the largest of the 3 wildfires in Spokane, Washington, that has burned many homes. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. A protest encampment blocking off a Madison intersection for nearly 2 weeks is cleared for traffic.
Protesters hurled rocks at police, and at least 2 fires were set as authorities cleared the intersection of Willie and Baldwin Tuesday morning. For days, Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway had been calling for a peaceful end to the encampment that formed following the death of Corey Ruiz during an arrest attempt last month.
The decision to invoke this option was not made lightly. Multiple efforts and calls to end the occupation peacefully were made, but ultimately ignored.
10 protesters in total were arrested. The officers involved in the Ruiz shooting remain on leave as a state investigation into his death continues. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A local hangout in Germantown catches fire.
First structure fire at Stag's Tavern on the Charlie side of the building. We're going to have you make entry. We're going to have the dump tanks set up inside the parking lot. We do have a lot of heavy smoke coming from the building.
That's audio courtesy of Broadcastify. Firefighters rushed out to Stag's Tavern early this morning. No word yet on what caused the fire. The tavern's owners say the restaurant will be closed until further notice.
Identifying the man who died at Devil's Lake State Park last month. 21-year-old Caden Brunner of Madison was rock climbing when he fell more than 100 feet from the Devil's Doorway rock formation. It's the second falling death at Devil's Lake this year after a climbing guide, Audrey Pelosi of Baraboo, died in May. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is investigating both of those deaths.
The deportation case against the president of the Islamic Society of Milwaukee is back in federal immigration court in Chicago today.
Sarsour's legal team plans to call several witnesses today, and following the testimony, his attorneys are expected to ask the judge to dismiss the deportation case, arguing the decades-old convictions in Israel are unreliable and that the government's case is ultimately aimed at silencing his pro-Palestinian advocacy. Federal prosecutors claim Sarsour lied on immigration applications and attempted to register to vote despite not being a U.S. citizen. The judge overseeing the case is expected to make a decision next month. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
And Governor Tony Evers urging the White House to reverse new federal rules he says will now make it harder for Wisconsinites to buy groceries with food share benefits. Evers says the new U.S. Department of Agriculture requirements could force thousands of stores nationwide to stop accepting SNAP or food share by increasing stocking requirements for retailers. The governor says the charges would hit small grocery stores especially hard, reducing access to food in rural communities and existing food deserts. The new rule is scheduled to take effect in November.
Welcome to Milwaukee. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Bring us your problems, deadlines, complexities, anxieties, distractions, and budget distresses.
Plum Media is listening.
Share with us your creative block.
Plum Media is ready.
Give us your audience with limited time and attention.
Plum Media sets your message free.
Let's get your message heard. Let's strive for retention from beginning to completion. Whether your next event is for celebration, education, motivation, inspiration, Plum Media is waiting to take action.
Professional collaborators, planners, managers. Plum Media, video production and event management.
Plum Media, wow moments, flawless execution, clarity, calm, control.
And results.
Plum Media, a video, meetings, and event producer with global experience. plummedia.com.
Where you live matters. Searching for assisted living can bring a lot of questions and a lot of emotion. At the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, we believe you need a clear, complete picture without pressure. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association on whereyouLiveMatters.org, a one-stop destination with unbiased information to help you understand your options and connect directly with providers in your area. No confusion, just tools that help you take the next step with confidence. Start your research today at whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Brewers president of baseball operations Matt Arnold added 3 pitchers to the 40-man roster prior to Monday's trade deadline.
You get in this time of year, you always need as much pitching as you can, and I think these guys just fit in very different ways, and we're still working through what those roles are going to look like, but we're excited to have all of them.
Dustin May is expected to make his Brewers debut sometime during the homestand. Lefty reliever Jojo Romero is recovering from an emergency appendectomy. He's expected to be available later this month. And reliever Antonio Senzatella could be available as early as tonight's game against the Pirates. Coverage of that game begins at 6:05. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur says it's going to be a work in progress when referring to the uneven start for rookie kicker Trey Smack. Smack, the only kicker in camp, but LaFleur won't confuse a lack of competition for a lack of pressure.
I think he's got plenty of pressure on him, just on a day-to-day. I mean, that's why we're talking about this for so long, right? Because there's a lot of interest, and there's going to be pressure no matter what position you play in this league. It's just the nature of our league. So, but I'm confident that he will work his way through it.
The Packers begin the preseason August 13th against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. Looks like our construction zone around the ballpark, American Family Field, the delays are getting a little worse. They were actually looking pretty good when we started Wisconsin's Midday News at noon. Now we're seeing more slowing. That's both eastbound and westbound around American Family Field. Also seeing some slowing in the Zoo interchange as well, as I'm looking at 4145. Looks like headed south, we are seeing some significant delays. No reports of any crashes there yet, though, but Zoo interchange down to about Lincoln Avenue. Once you hit Lincoln, it is clear there. One other note to make, there was a fire earlier today, but because of that, we are still seeing a closure on Wisconsin 145 North at Holy Hill Road. That's the Maple Road area as well. Heads up there, that is still closed in Washington County.
Overall, pretty nice day today. Warm, a little on the humid side. Chance of rain late tonight. Overnight hours could be wet, and that could linger into Wednesday morning and then again in the afternoon. So multiple rounds of rain are possible on Wednesday. An inch or two of accumulation possible, high 75. Early rain possible on Thursday, then partly cloudy, high 78. Friday, mostly sunny and a high of 81. The sun returns on Saturday with a high of 85. It's 86 and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:39. Well, the Brewers will look to get the better end of the Pirates tonight. Pittsburgh has won 6 of the 7 meetings between the two this year. All of a sudden, Pittsburgh is starting to ramp up, maybe sniffing a wild card, as the Brewers are going to soon adjust to life with some new pitchers on the roster. We welcome in Brewers.com writer Adam McCalvey, our weekly check-in regarding all things Brewers. Hi, Adam.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Doing well. So before we get into the pitchers acquired by the Brewers, can we first touch on the pitcher not acquired by the Brewers? This seems to be the headline grabber right now.
What happened?
And I think so many Brewers fans are resigned to think, well, same old Brewers, right? When it comes down to it, they're just not willing to put their chips into the table for a top-flight pitcher. And then others are saying, well, wait a minute now. Maybe there's more to this than just player A acquires player B from Team C. What do we know, what do we not know about the Brewers' attempt to get a 2-time Cy Young Award winner?
Well, a couple of things we do know. One, Luis Pena was in the Brewers' offer. He is their number 2 prospect, a really good prospect, top 20 prospect in baseball. A major league pitcher, one of the Brewers' young major league pitchers was in the roster, and then another good prospect, whether inside or outside of the top 100, a good prospect. The other thing we know is that every team values prospects differently. And if you are like me and don't know every prospect in baseball, you kind of look at those top 100s at your peril a little bit, because it's not like, 21 plus 68 plus 102 is better than, 19 plus, add your numbers. That is not that simple. And those lists are kind of for fun and entertainment and education only, and not necessarily a code that teams use to make trades. The Brewers feel like they made a very strong offer. They feel like they looked at their offer as stronger than the ones that the Dodgers made to land Tarik Skubal. The Tigers took the Dodgers offer. And at that point, the Brewers pivot. There was still time to do a deal, and they make some other trades to bring in 3 pitchers, as you said. So they didn't land the big fish. I think they made a pretty strong effort to do so. I believe when Matt Arnold says that, and I've talked to enough other people in the front office to know that that was the case.
So I was checking out your story on MLB.com before the show, and speaking of Matt Arnold, there's a quote in your story. He said, "We certainly talked about doing some, quote, irresponsible stuff as well, but we tried to thread the needle. We were prepared to push a lot of chips in, and look, I think we did." Irresponsible stuff. What was your take?
Well, he always uses the word responsible when talking about trades, because his point is a team like the Brewers, a team like the Dodgers, they can trade any prospect they want, knowing that if they need a starting pitcher, they can spend $300 million on Tyler Glasnow and $700 million on Shohei Ohtani. They can fill holes in many different ways. A team like the Brewers, under the economics of the sport today, the basis of their success is that farm system. Whether that means you pull players up like Cooper Pratt and Luis Lara recently, Logan Henderson to play for you in the big leagues, or you use those chips to make trades, like they've done in so many different instances of the players that are Christian Yelich. A lot of their players have come via trades. The value of prospects is higher for a team like the Brewers than for a team like the Dodgers. That is just the nature of the thing. So Matt Arnold always talks about, yes, we want to help the team, but we want to be responsible, and he's always using that word responsible. So his point was they were willing to go beyond that. When you make a trade for a Tarik Skubal, you have to be willing to lose the trade, because the way teams operate now, they all have these computer systems that assign value to players and future value, and they put in proposals, and the best trades kind of come out even, or each team gives up a little something. Maybe one side's better in the present, one side gets more future value. In a Tarik Skubal trade or a CC Sabathia trade, you lose the trade in terms of value, but you get the guy right now because you think you want something that puts you over the top. So his point was they did something quote unquote irresponsible in the long-term vision, in terms of long-term value, because they thought that he was a guy who was a difference maker. And you think about the Brewers in October going into a postseason series, if you've got Jacob Mizorowski and Tarik Skubal and you're juggling game 1 versus game 2, and then you've got Kyle Harrison, Logan Henderson to kind of fill out the rest in a series where the first one would be 5 games, that's exceptionally dangerous. So that's why they made what they felt was a very, very strong offer. And look, it wasn't accepted. And that is just the nature of the thing. Now, I know I've tried to figure out myself, the Tigers make this trade with essentially parts of 3 days of negotiating left to go before the deadline. A little curious. And I know there's been a lot of discussion about that, and the Tigers GM addressed that. There's just, as Pat Murphy said, there's layers to this. Did the player have some kind of say with the Tigers of where he wanted to go? Pat Murphy was asked that directly, and he says, I don't know anything about that. I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows except the Tigers and Tarik Skubal. So as Murph again said, there's very many different layers to making trades. And the other thing I'll say is the Brewers are not the only club that's disappointed that Tarik Skubal is not pitching for them tonight, that he's pitching for the Dodgers. So that's the nature of this time of year. Only one team gets the quote unquote big guy.
Well, things were going to happen after Skubal was traded. So the fact this trade was made over the weekend allowed a team like the Brewers to pivot to a plan B. If this deal goes up to the deadline, the Brewers might have been shut out, as could other teams have been. Nonetheless, they acquire multiple arms here, a couple of bullpen arms, and a legitimate starter who was incidentally once a very key part of the Dodgers' plan. So what do we know about Dustin May, the starter, and where he fits in? I know what he did to the Brewers last time he faced them. He took a no-hitter into the very late innings. So there's still some juice in that tank, but what do they need out of him? What can they expect?
Yeah, as you said, a former, top prospect of the Dodgers who pitched in the World Series for them in 2020 when they won the World Series, the COVID World Series, and then had injury issues, injured right here in Milwaukee and had Tommy John surgery and had some other injury issues. Still very talented, still with lots of upside, injury risk, inconsistent at times this season. His last 7 haven't been as good as the dozen before that. But the Brewers are very good at bringing in pitchers with good ingredients, as they say, and then, having a great stretch with them. So I think postseason experience was one of the ingredients they looked at. Certainly they wanted a mix of start and relief, and they got a really interesting kind of combination there where you get Dustin May, the starter, you get Jojo Romero, the lefty late inning short stint reliever once he gets back from his appendectomy, and then you get Antonio Senzatella from the Rockies, who the Brewers have seen a lot of. Also postseason experience, former starter, now he pitches out of the bullpen, but it's a multi-inning type role. So a lot of this, you either were going to get Tarek Skubal, the aircraft carrier, as they say, the kind of huge difference maker. Once he's off the board, there's certainly good players out there, but nobody like Tarek Skubal. So now you're talking about, let's get in some innings, let's get some depth, let's get some reinforcements in order to protect these young starters who, by the way, have the best ERA in the National League and the best starters ERA, I believe, in baseball. I need to look at that one again because it might have changed in the last couple of days, but up there. Now, they can bring in some of these other pitchers to log some innings and protect the young guys who are getting up there in terms of their career innings limits and things like that. Jacob Mizorowski is one of those names that they're really going to be protective of. So the depth part of it isn't as headline grabbing, certainly, as having a 2-time American League Cy Young winner in your rotation, but it can be just as important. So they do feel like they added pieces that made them a better team at the end of yesterday than at the beginning of the day yesterday. But look, I get why there's a lot of interest in the player that they didn't get. And Murph talked about that a lot. He said it's not the most healthy thing to be fixated on the Dodgers in early August, but such is life when you're talking about the 2-time defending champs who knocked you out last year.
Yeah, true. So with the deadline behind them, what's the biggest question facing the Brewers in the final 2 months of the regular season? We love playing baseball in October, but just looking here at the end of the regular season.
Well, okay, 2 questions. I'll say pitching and hitting in general. On the pitching side, can you get Jacob Mizorowski to October 1st in prime form? Because the Brewers' case for winning the World Series, it all starts with this guy who is like no other starter they've ever had in the history of the franchise. Getting him to the end is the most important thing, and then having some pieces around him who are fresh and ready to go as well. That's going to take some real creativity because these are all players without the experience of pushing into the innings numbers as far as total innings this season ever in their careers. The other thing is, will they hit enough? They're not going to be a team that hits home runs. They did not add a bat at yesterday's deadline, and if you look at the hitters who moved, there wasn't like the Tarek Skubal version of a hitter out there. They are not. Home runs are huge in the postseason. That's how you win postseason games. The Brewers are going to have to do it differently. They're going to need the top of their lineup to hit. They are not hitting right now. Yelich, Contreras, Turang, Churio are all kind of quiet. So that's okay in August 1st. They built themselves a cushion. They're doing okay in terms of like where they're positioned with 2 months to go. Look, they have the best record in baseball. It's very hard to complain too much about where they stand right now. But they're going to need a lot more from those players at the end and as they get into October in order to win, because they are not going to be a team that hits homers, so they're going to have to string innings together, string together rallies. That takes some hits, it takes walks, all the things that they do, and they're great. Running the bases aggressively. And they're just not getting very much at the top of the order right now, so getting that going is a huge priority.
Between September 1st and September 9th, the Brewers will play the Cubs 6 times. This becomes a very important stretch of the schedule with the Cubs kind of on the Brewers' neck. I'm sorry, 7 times if you want to go back to September, or I should say August 31st. So 7 meetings with the Cubs. That maybe tells the story here on if the Brewers can earn another division title. Those will be a huge games, Adam. We look forward to covering it all with you, and anxious to see these new arms in action here for the Brewers in the stretch run. Hey, great stuff in covering the trade deadline. I know you were on a red-eye flight back from Anaheim and trying to stay awake while keeping up with the news here. So great work and appreciate the insight.
All right, no problem. Dustin May looks like Thursday right now, and we'll meet him today and kind of try to confirm which day he's going to make his Brewers debut.
Oh, that would be an afternoon game here on WTMJ. Appreciate it, Adam. Thanks, you. Adam.
All right, bye, guys.
It's 12:51.
Do you have an upcoming wedding, a bridal or baby shower, maybe a family reunion? WTMJ's John Mercure here. I highly recommend having your party at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. Half your dinners are free. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free every single night, even for special events. Choice steaks, seafood, pasta. How about the surf and turf? Any entree, buy one, get one free. Desserts, my favorite part, is buy one, get one free. Celebrate a birthday, an anniversary, a retirement, or just a quiet free dinner with your sweetie. Have your company employee appreciation dinner at the Fox and Hounds. Half your dinners are free, and it's a gorgeous setting right in the heart of the Kettle Moraine near Holy Hill. Spectacular views. Gift cards are also the perfect year-round gifts, as your second dinner is always free. Order online, and your gift cards will arrive shortly. I've done this many times. Reserve your wedding shower, rehearsal, or family dinner today. Half your dinners are free every night at the Fox and Hounds. Google, call, and reserve.
Love our finished basement. It's become the heart of our home, and we have Matrix Basement Finishing to thank. We had always thought about doing our basement after we built our house. We thought we had about a 5-year plan. Well, it turned out to be closer to a 10-year plan, but nevertheless, our family is evolving. Kids are getting a little bit older. It's important to have some dedicated space. Also, we want to host for the holidays. Well, it's great to have a place where we can all be and also be sort of spread out. Isn't that amazing? You get into a finished basement, everybody just sort of spreads out, but you're all together versus everybody cramming into the kitchen, or some people on the top level of the house, maybe upstairs, and the others sort of gathered around in the family room, right? It's different thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing. The heart of our home is now our basement. Matrix came to us, a free design consultation, no obligation. We went through the paces with them, and we really liked what our guy Josh came up with. Ultimately, we put his ideas into plans. We approved those plans at our kitchen table. We made our finished selections from their catalog at our kitchen table. We did it all from our own home. And then when the project started, we were able to follow along on an app, Builder Trend. We knew who was coming to the house and when. We knew the start date. We knew the end date. We knew all the checkpoints in between, and we had one point of contact. Could not have been an easier process, thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing. Book now and no payments until 2028. You'll want to check out my social media pages here. You'll see some of the before and after photos. If it looks great to you and you want me to put you in touch with Matrix, I'd be happy to do it. It's Matrix Basement Finishing.
No matter where you hear WTMJ, whether it be here...
So we are overlooking the bay. We're in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studios.
Or there.
Here live in our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Catch us at home or on the go, thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
In the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin podcast studio.
We are live wherever you are, on the air and on the go. The Pella Windows and Doors podcast studio is live on WTMJ.com.
Have you ever wondered if you're giving the right way? Maybe you want to support a charity that's important to you, but you're not sure how it fits into your estate plan or what it means for your family's future. Join Annex Wealth Management for a free webinar, More Giving, Less Guessing. Hear from me, yours truly, Steve Scafidi, and CEO Dave Spano, estate planning attorney Alec Durand, as we share practical strategies to help you give with confidence and create the legacy you envision. Reserve your free spot today at annexwealth.com/events. That's annexwealth.com/events.
Well, pretty nice day today. A little bump up in temperature. It's up to 86 degrees right now, and a little more sun than clouds. Clouds could become more of a factor. Rain possible later on tonight. Could have multiple rounds of rain on Wednesday with a high in the mid-70s. Thursday morning, we're expected to see some rain in the morning, then clearing with a high of 81. Similar situation on Friday under sunny skies. 86 degrees in Milwaukee at 12:55. Reminder, we'll be at the Wisconsin State Fair on Thursday and Friday of this week, and then all week next week. We do have a Brewers game on Thursday, so that really just gives us more time to find your hot cheese and get a cream puff, go on the Sky Glider, and find the stories.
I don't need much time to find it.
You know exactly where it is, right?
What if it wasn't there this year?
They just moved
that
it.
would be the story. Where did the hot Wisconsin cheese go?
It always amazes me at how many things are available for everybody, right? We've talked about some of the race car driving they have throughout the summer at the fairgrounds, all the great concerts that they have, the incredibly large Ferris wheel. They've had a Cirque du Soleil program the last couple of years, so expect all things and more at the Wisconsin State Fair. We look forward to bringing you those broadcasts each and every year.
They always have those bargain books as well. They have the vouchers inside. That's typically over by us, usually in the information area. You can buy those. That's kind of cool, too. You page through those and you save some money at the fair.
Come by, say hello to us. You know where we're located. We're in our familiar fishbowl that's down near the Expo Center. Stop by. We got a microphone outside this year, so you might even be able to say hello on the air to us while we're broadcasting. News coming up.
Lake Geneva. It's where families have been making memories around the water for generations. Lakeside resorts and spas, award-winning restaurants, and charming shops are just the beginning of an unforgettable summer getaway. Lake cruises, boating, and beach lounging let you soak up the sun, water, and family time. Hike a lakeshore path, stargaze from an iconic observatory, or soar above it all in a hot air balloon. Go ziplining, visit an animal safari, or see dancing horses. Start making your memories today at visitlakegeneva.com. Picture this, a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick 9 after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit racinecountryclub.com.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this, and Summit Credit Union's got you.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
The stories you're talking about on Wisconsin's Morning News.
A memorial to Ruiz has grown, and around it, an occupation. The mayor is out with a new statement. There is real harm being done to local businesses and residents who are losing income and even jobs. Read an interview with one of the business owners, a restaurateur who's on that street. Look, I'm sympathetic to this cause. I'm kind of on your side on this, but there are people who come here and earn their livings here at my business. It's not sustainable. But what, if anything, is the city going to do to actually remove this occupation, and what would that look like?
Only here on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi.
And Kristen Bry of Point Taken.
What's more important than having a special needs child turning 18 who needs guardianship?
Or helping aging parents plan for long-term care.
Thankfully, the attorneys at Walney Legal Group can help with both.
No intimidating lawyers, Walney Legal provides a customized, friendly experience to help make these processes as straightforward and streamlined as possible.
So whether you're planning for aging parents
or establishing a strong legal foundation for a special needs child, visit WALNYlegal.com.
When your business is growing, you may think you need a big bank with tall buildings and more people. But bigger doesn't always mean better. Not when you're waiting on answers or trying to move quickly on an opportunity. I'm James Showalter, President and CEO of Port Washington State Bank. Here you get the tools, the experience, and the kind of service that keeps things moving, no matter how big your business gets. Because when it matters, you don't need bigger, you just need better. Port Washington State Bank. We get you here.
Number FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm Vince Vetrano, joined today by Dr. Corey Casper from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
So we treat a lot of joint issues, cartilage issues, also issues with tendons. So if you've got a knee that's just been bugging you, and maybe you've seen a doctor or two and they haven't given you many options outside of some steroid injections or surgery, that's where we come in and find other treatment options that may help your knee feel better.
Get started online now at orthowisconsin.com.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
There's no place like home, and nothing like Brewers baseball.
0-2 pitch is lined out to right. This is headed for the seats. It is gone! Jake Bowers with an absolute laser.
The Brewers take on the Pirates tonight at American Family Field.
Struck him out swinging at 1:03.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 101. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, August 4th. Your top story, debris removal continues in the Fox Valley.
I'm Jessica Ty. Could the country's top federal prosecutor lose her job?
Mostly sunny today, increasing clouds tonight, high 85, overnight low 68. Chance of showers, heavy rain possible overnight. It's 84, partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 101. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, storm damage debris removal continues in the Fox Valley today after an EF3 tornado destroyed a 12-mile stretch of Menasha, Neenah, and Fox Crossing a week ago. Heavy equipment now being used for that removal. Residents being asked to move their vehicles out of the roadways. A citywide curfew continues at 10 p.m. for Menasha and Fox Crossing. Winnebago County officials also remind residents that they need to apply for and receive a raise permit to tear down or remove any buildings or structures that were damaged. Those permits are needed to prevent serious injuries because utilities need to be properly disconnected before doing any demolition work.
President Trump is privately musing to aides about firing U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro. The president is reportedly furious with Pirro for dropping charges against a former Olympian and three others who were initially accused of vandalizing the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. Pirro's findings blamed shoddy installation for the problems. ABC's Mary Bruce.
Pirro saying had the Interior Department been forthcoming with the information clearly in its possession, the government would not have sought a grand jury, contradicting Trump's claims of vandalism. Pirro claiming her prosecutors were misled by the Interior Department, which awarded no-bid contracts worth nearly $15 million, despite having virtually no federal experience doing federal contracts. All four prosecutions claiming vandalism have now been dropped.
Pirro was seen yesterday bringing a box full of evidence collected from the Interior Department to a meeting with the president.
25 states are suing the Trump administration over new forced labor tariffs, calling them pretext for replacing import taxes already struck down by the Supreme Court. News Nation's Marty Hughes.
The Attorney General of New York says the administration is attempting to illegally raise taxes on families and businesses. The White House says that it's using lawful authority to eliminate unreasonable policies that burden U.S. commerce. It follows the U.S. imposing double-digit tariffs on 59 countries, citing that it had not done enough to crack down on imports produced by forced labor.
Wisconsin is one of the states included in the current lawsuit.
Wisconsin is also joining a nationwide push to make it harder for scammers to flood our phones with illegal robocalls.
Attorney General Josh Kaul and 49 other states are urging the FCC to strengthen Know Your Customer rules for phone companies. The proposal would require providers to better vet customers before giving them access to the nation's phone network and more closely monitor high-risk callers. Officials say the changes could help prevent billions of spam calls and text messages that cost Americans nearly $2 billion last year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A rather unusual sight in the Richfield Cabela's parking lot caught several Washington County Sheriff's deputies. A little off guard.
It started with an off-the-cuff question over dispatch Saturday evening.
Off the top of your head, it's legal to fly a helicopter at Cabela's.
The pilot, a 69-year-old man from Rosendale, did indeed fly his own helicopter to the Cabela's, telling responding deputies he did so because, in his own words, the drive was too long. The sheriff's office says the pilot was properly licensed, landed safely, and complied with all necessary regulations. No citations were issued nor arrests made, putting an end to a unique parking complaint. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
I just love that story.
Yeah,
But
just
what did
fly.
he buy? What did he buy at Cabela's? That's what I want to know.
Fishing rod, maybe something just simple, right? Had to stock up on something.
But how much was the gas? You know, you got to fill that helicopter up, too.
It's more about the convenience, I think, at that point, right? You got to get in, get out, get your stuff, and time is money. Hey.
Was there a delay in the highway, too?
Well, that
I mean, the drive was long, but was there congestion as well? He checked out 511
I mean, be honest. If you had a helicopter, wouldn't you be trying to find ways to use it?
to go shopping.
Exactly.
I don't know.
It's 1:05 here. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green here. The Dow is up nearly 1,000 points. Big day for the Dow at 54,150. NASDAQ also surging up 665 points at 26,580. Good day for the S&P, up 140 at 7742. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Not going to lie, I really want to talk to that man. We got to track him down.
We can find him.
I'm going to be looking after the show. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, East 106.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Back to school season always seems to get everyone back on a schedule. So here's my question. When are you going to make yourself part of that routine? I'm Steve Scafidi, and that's exactly what I did with Milwaukee Weight Loss. Honestly, I wish I would have started sooner. I'm feeling better. I've got more energy because it really, really works. Right now, if you enroll by August 31st, you'll save $200 on the complete Milwaukee Weight Loss program. Don't keep putting it off. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation today. Results may vary.
Hey, come celebrate with us. WTMJ Day is coming up here toward the end of August. You can join us at the Brewers Rangers game. That's right. It's coming up Saturday, August 29th. It's Brewers taking on the Rangers. You could be there with us, part of WTMJ Day. There will be food. There will be all sorts of ways to hang out with us, your favorite WTMJ hosts. If you're interested in tickets and joining us, it's just a fun tailgate before the Brewers Rangers game. It's that simple. You can be a part of it. Check out WTMJday.com. That's WTMJday.com. There will be food provided by Left's Lucky Town. Just a good time to be had by all, hopefully, before the Brewers knock off the Rangers at American Family Field. Just send a message to or connect online at WTMJday.com.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on Old Dutch Tortilla, Crunch, or Ripples chips or salsa, 2 for $5.50. 8-ounce selected varieties, Essential Everyday Shredded or Chunk Cheese, 2 for $4. Whole seedless watermelon, $3.99. Fresh 85% lean ground beef, $4.99 a pound.
It's a long fly ball.
What?
Safe.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville Famous Sausage Race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Ah, no, what happened here?
Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Brewers president of baseball operations Matt Arnold expects newly acquired starting pitcher Dustin May to slide right into the rotation at some point during the homestand, maybe Thursday, in the series finale against the Pirates. May, one of 3 pitchers acquired by the Brewers in advance of the trade deadline.
You can never have enough pitching, and I think the guys that we got are pretty battle-tested, experienced guys. Talked about, Dustin May and Jojo Romero and Antonio Sanzatella. Like, these guys have pitched in some big games, and they're tough, and they're experienced, and so I think they're going to fit in really well.
Romero is expected to miss a couple of weeks after having his appendix removed. Sanzatella could be available out of the pen tonight. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6:05. The Packers sign a long snapper and release kicker Lenny Krieg. That means the only kicker in camp is rookie 6th-round pick Trey Smack, who is off to a bit of an uneven start in camp.
We drafted Trey, so we definitely have high hopes for him and understand that with all young kickers, there's typically some growing pains that are associated with that. But, just want to push him to be his best.
And 2-time Pro Bowl running back Bijan Robinson and the Atlanta Falcons reached an agreement on a 3-year extension worth $75 million. That'll make Robinson the highest paid running back in NFL history.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. Not too bad. All of our crashes have cleared. Some good news there. I will say, right now, though, we have a number of disabled vehicles dotting the system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got at least 8 that I'm taking a peek at. The good news, I don't see many of them causing delays. There is one spot that it looks like the broken down vehicle is causing an issue. That's the exit to Greenfield Avenue from 41-894 South. So just an alert for you there. There is a broken down vehicle on the exit to Greenfield Avenue from 41-894 South, and I am seeing delays because of that one. Not too far from Wisconsin State Fair Park.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Things looking good for the bulk of the day. Warmer temperatures, high 85 degrees, mixture of sun and clouds. Overnight is when we welcome the idea of rain, and there could be multiple rounds on Wednesday. We'll keep an eye on that. Some thunder possible, maybe some flashes of lightning. Lauren Larson joins us coming up in about 25 minutes for more on the timing. Wednesday's high 75. Thursday, rain should clear out after maybe some morning sprinkles and a high of 81. 85 in Milwaukee at 112.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
1 hour down, 2 to go. Greg and Jessica with you until 3 o'clock. And a reminder, we'll be at the Wisconsin State Fair beginning Thursday, again on Friday, and all of next week as we bring you another staple of the Wisconsin summer, the Wisconsin State Fair.
I can't wait to talk to some of the groups who were there last year, too, at the end. I mean, you think about last year at the end of the Wisconsin State Fair, and we just had that horrible flooding. And that hurt a lot of businesses that were there. They just didn't get that revenue that they were planning on. So you know that they're hoping for wonderful weather and a great year this year.
It looks like the forecast is pretty good here for the first 4 days of the fair. And we'll again check in with Lauren Larson for more on that coming up in about 20 minutes.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, AI leaders at the White House. They're talking about a framework for managing security risks for artificial intelligence models. News Nation's Marnie Hughes.
This follows recent hacking scandals involving Anthropic and OpenAI breaching the systems of some other companies. And it has sparked concern among lawmakers about whether AI models could be capable of cyber attacks. According to Reuters, Meta, Anthropic, OpenAI, and Google are invited. President Trump is not expected to attend this meeting.
I was just looking to see, okay, where is the president? And it looks like he's got a big travel day today. I'm checking out the schedule. And at one point, he will be in California. And then he is headed to Vegas, where I know he has an event tomorrow. Looks like he's at the Red Rock Casino Resort and Spa. So that's part of why the president won't be there. In June, the Trump administration said it would ask the companies developing those AI models to voluntarily submit them for government tests up to 30 days before they plan to release them to the public.
Well, number 2, officials in Washington state announced the arrest of a suspect who they say is responsible for starting the Old Trails Fire. This is the largest of the 3 fires currently ravaging Spokane, Washington. Authorities arresting 37-year-old Aaron Farinacci on suspicion of first-degree arson. A witness reported seeing a man bending down near the grass where the fire began. Investigators believe a lighter or matches were used. In fact, they recovered those items at the scene. ABC's Alex Stone is in Spokane.
More than 10,000 acres have burned in the Spokane area. Fire trucks surrounded by huge blazes as crews rush to contain the flames. The sheriff saying 14 people are unaccounted for, but incredibly, nobody has been killed or even seriously injured, despite the flames moving so quickly.
The Old Trails Fire has consumed over 3,600 acres and expected to be more here because it's 0% contained at this point, forcing nearly 70,000 evacuations.
Number 3, today investors get to hear from Elon Musk himself during SpaceX's first earnings call as a public company.
When SpaceX first went public in mid-June, the stock price jumped, making Elon Musk the world's first trillionaire. Since then, the SpaceX shares have fallen by half, and Musk is only worth about $726 billion, according to Forbes. During the company's first earnings call this afternoon, investors are expected to ask Musk when he expects to finish testing the Starship rockets that NASA hopes to use to send humans to the moon, what the future of SpaceX's satellite company is, and how much SpaceX expects to spend on its as-of-now money-losing AI business, Grok. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Wait, did you catch that? Musk is now only worth about $726 billion.
Yeah, he's fallen on hard times here a little bit.
We're about 2 hours away from SpaceX releasing that earnings report. It's coming out after the closing bell today, so a little after 3 p.m. our time. Elon Musk will speak after that, and we'll be watching to see if the stock can regain momentum.
It is a thing with Elon owned and operated companies. Volatility, right? I mean, Tesla has gone through some major ups and major downs and in wild swings. So if you're going to go that route, you got to be willing to stomach some of those dizzying highs and the sweeping lows. And that's certainly what happened here with SpaceX. It kind of cratered after a lofty beginning, which many predicted would happen. Eventually, it's going to rise back up a little bit, but that earnings call, as you mentioned, will set the course for the next bit of time.
Well, remember how excited people were? I mean, so many people were watching that when the stock went public. And SpaceX even had custom Nike shoes for the historic IPO.
Yes, that's right.
They had pictures all over social media of people wearing them. Yeah, it was interesting.
It is 1:17. We'll call it here on WTMJ.
Looking for a getaway with fantastic outdoor recreation? Sheboygan is a perfect destination. Hike or bike through Kohler Andre State Park and other local parks. There are all kinds of water sports, including surfing, paddleboarding, and kayaking. Sheboygan's walkability takes you to South Pier. Visit shops, play mini golf, and enjoy fine dining. Shop their farmers market and take in live music. It's the Malibu of the Midwest. Plan your getaway today at visitsheboygan.com.
For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here. If you got a busted garage door, give my friends at Geist a call today. Doors and openers for every budget. There's a custom design center. They've got what it takes to meet your exact needs, whatever it is, with an incredible inventory and great brands like CHI and LiftMaster in stock and ready to go for you. It's Geist, trusted in the space for 70 years, 7 decades long, doing it the right way with doors and openers for every budget in that beautiful custom design center. Stop by their showroom. It's right off Barker Road in Brookfield. I've been there. Connect with Geist, check out the inventory, and be amazed. It's a one-stop shop for all of your garage door needs. Check out Geist, and don't think twice. Visit GeistDoors.com.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spiritware is vital. That's why Burkhart Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spiritware from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take the hassle out of coordinating your team's apparel and make shopping and buying easy. So when you need awesome spiritware and uniforms for your organization, you can't beat Burkhart.
You can't beat Burkhart.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
Well, no rain on the radar yet. That could change later tonight. Today's high 86 degrees, good deal of sun, a little bit of cloud coverage. Later tonight is when things change. A chance of rain right around the dinner time hour, better chance of rain later tonight. Some thunderstorms possible overnight, and then wet conditions on Wednesday. Multiple rounds possible, scattered showers, and a high of 75. Thursday, some clearing skies after some morning rain and a high of 82, 81 and sunny to round out the work week. 86 degrees in Milwaukee right now, approaching 120. Well, the Senate Judiciary Committee narrowly approves to advance the nomination of Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. Blanche approved by the panel along party lines this morning after two Republicans changed their tune after publicly withholding support. We welcome an ABC investigative reporter, Peter Haralambous. So, Peter, what changed here?
Yeah, these were two holdouts who nearly sank this nomination, Tom Tillis and John Cornyn, who eventually pressured Todd Blanche to put in writing that the Department of Justice wouldn't proceed with that controversial plan to create a fund for people who say they were wrongly prosecuted by the Biden and Obama administrations. This came after a weekend where it seemed as though this nomination was effectively over because Tillis and Cornyn were going to vote against him, making it so that this couldn't even go to the full Senate floor. Blanche put in writing that they wouldn't move forward with that plan, also put into writing that the immunity granted to the president related to IRS audits was limited and only applied to instances in the past, not protecting him in the future. That was enough to earn the vote of Tillis and Cornyn, who said they were satisfied with that. Though the big question now becomes whether or not he'll have enough support from all the Republicans in the Senate. With Mitch McConnell himself still in the hospital, still undergoing physical therapy, and not able to vote on this, basically he can only lose 2 Republican votes in the full Senate in order for this confirmation to survive.
What does a Blanche confirmation mean for the direction of the Justice Department?
Yeah, I think if we see this confirmation happen, and that's possible by the end of the week, it really marks a change in the overall trajectory of the Department of Justice. Blanche was very upfront during his confirmation hearing that he believes he basically serves not only at the pleasure of the president, but at his direction, basically saying that, Trump is the one who's making the calls here, and that he's an attorney who represents the people of the United States, but also the wishes of the president. There was that very notable verbal slip-up during his confirmation hearing, where he basically said, I'm the president's lawyer, and then corrected himself to say, I'm the president's former lawyer. This is someone who, again, represented President Trump in a personal capacity for a year ahead of him winning the White House back in 2024. Someone who, defended him in that case in New York that led to his criminal conviction, really someone that has been by the president's side, and a case of an attorney general whose relationship with the president is so close that it's nearly unparalleled in American history. The only thing I can think of is JFK and RFK in the 60s, where you had the president's brother serving as attorney general.
Okay, so to that point, Peter, the Republicans demanded written proof that the $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund was permanently dissolved. What if the president wants it back?
Yeah, I think that's a very solid concern we're hearing from some Republican senators. The idea here being, yes, it's in writing, it's signed by Blanche, but it's not like it has the signature of the other parties in the lawsuit that led to this agreement to create this anti-weaponization fund. The agreement also does not preclude the Department of Justice from doing individual settlements from people who claim they were victimized by the Department of Justice. So it still very much feels like those kind of payouts are on the table. The president, for what it's worth, has kind of made the situation worse for Blanche. Yesterday, he was asked about this agreement that Blanche signed. Trump said he didn't look at it, and that he still thinks the fund is positive, that he still thinks that these people should be compensated by his administration. A few of those holdouts, specifically Murkowski and Collins, have voiced concerns about the function of this anti-weaponization fund. They say they want to talk to Cornyn and Tillis about what transpired over the weekend that led them to change their mind. Though that lingering concern about payouts will certainly follow Blanche through this confirmation process, and if he's confirmed, during his time as Attorney General.
If confirmed at the end here, what are the biggest issues expected to be at the top of Attorney General Blanche's agenda?
Yeah, I think one thing that is front and center are these very politicized prosecutions. We understand that one of the main issues that Trump had with Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General, was her lack of success in prosecuting the president's enemies, his political adversaries. Those cases, for example, against Comey and Letitia James, those were unsuccessful because the Department of Justice kind of flubbed the appointment of the prosecutor in that case. That was one of the main contributing factors that led Bondi to get fired. I think all eyes then are on how Blanche is going to handle similar politicized prosecutions. We have that Comey case potentially going to trial as early as October. We also have these other cases where the DOJ in the past has, for example, subpoenaed Tim Walz and Mayor Jacob Fry over their handling of immigration enforcement and failing to cooperate with the federal government. We saw that effort to pressure the Federal Reserve, subpoenas going to the Federal Reserve earlier this year. That case is technically dead, but if that revives itself because the president believes the renovations of the Federal Reserve are too costly and possibly corrupt, even though there's no evidence of that, I think all eyes, in a way, are on the Department of Justice's handling of those cases if Todd Blanche becomes the Attorney General.
So, Peter, those opposed to Blanche in this role, is it just strictly a party line thing now, or are there some real concerns about this somewhat unusual path?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's likely we're going to see this vote come down across party lines. John Fetterman, someone who sometimes votes with Republicans, has said he's not going to vote for Blanche in this case, so it seems like it's only going to be Republicans voting in their favor. And if you look at these four senators, Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, John Curtis, and Lisa Murkowski, all of them have voiced some concerns about the anti-weaponization fund. And Bill Cassidy, in particular, has voiced concerns about what he called the weaponization of the Department of Justice, basically acknowledging that in the past the DOJ has had issues, but the way to fix that is not doubling down with these kind of cases, but rather to kind of correct the course, to highlight the fact that the Department of Justice should be somewhat independent from the president and shouldn't necessarily bring cases at the whim of the president and his adversaries. So we'll see how this proceeds. For now, at least Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski say they want to talk to Cornyn and Tillis to get a sense of what changed in their minds.
ABC investigative reporter Peter Haralambous. Peter, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks so much, guys.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit BigFishContracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Every homeowner has a list. That roof, those windows, that bathroom you've been meaning to update. If you've been putting off home improvements, you're not alone. At Exterior Pros and Baths, they help homeowners upgrade their homes with beautiful roofing, siding, windows, doors, gutters, and bathrooms built to last. Right now, save up to $3,000 on your next project. Don't wait until a small problem becomes an expensive one. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right, built to last.
Well, the Brewers are back home. That means your chance to get to the ballpark is on Potawatomi. How about it? Check out Potawatomi Sportsbook. Hop in, make a same-day sports wager, grab a bite to eat. You'll get a wristband. You can hop on the shuttle that departs from the Annex about an hour before the game. It'll drop you right off at American Family Field. And then it'll bring you back. Beginning of the 7th inning, the shuttle goes right back to where you left. That's service. That's a great part about Potawatomi. If you're not making it to the game, just hang out at the sports book. Watch the game there. Watch every game there on that 2,000 square foot video wall. Really nothing like it. No better place to watch sports in the state of Wisconsin than Potawatomi Sportsbook. Have them get you to the ballpark, have them bring you back, or just hang out. Carve out your own niche at Potawatomi.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Save big money on your summer project at Menards. Transform your garage with rock-solid floor coatings. Complete your project with a showroom-quality finish in one weekend. A one-car kit covers up to 250 square feet. Get everything you need to complete your project with rock-solid floor coatings. Our knowledgeable team is ready to help bring your dreams to life, 1 gallon at a time. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, August 4th. Your top story. Protesters push back as their encampment comes down in Madison.
I'm Jessica Ty, deciding what to do with the Milwaukee Public Museum.
Sunny today, increasing clouds tonight. Chance of rain overnight, maybe some thunderstorms. High 84, overnight low 68.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Sources tell ABC News that President Trump called Congressman Max Miller, Ohio Republican, over his re-election campaign after accusations of domestic abuse, which he denies, and that Trump told him his candidacy is in jeopardy. Senator Bernie Moreno, Ohio Republican, whose daughter is divorced from Miller.
This has been brutal, beyond comprehension, and if there's any minimum standard for being an elected official, as I said, he fails to meet that minimum basic standard. I don't care about the politics at all.
Oil prices are higher amid uncertainty over the Strait of Hormuz. Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
Suffice it to say there's been progress made in those talks, but not finality yet. We're hoping that will happen very shortly.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche was confirmed by the Senate Judiciary Committee today. Along party lines, the full Senate could vote on Saturday. Wall Street major indexes flirting with records. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. A protest encampment in Madison intersection now cleared, but it didn't happen without pushback from occupiers.
Police Tuesday morning struck with rocks by protesters at Willie and Baldwin Streets. Ultimately, 10 people were arrested and 1 protester was injured. Occupiers had blocked off the site where Corey Ruiz was shot and killed by police for nearly 2 weeks. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway said in a video release the city attempted to work with protesters to find a peaceful solution.
Holding government accountable for progress should not mean harming the community we all share.
An independent investigation into Ruiz's death by the state continues. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
2 sisters and a father now identified in a Winneconne death investigation. Jeffrey Mankey and his daughters Jalen and Lenora were found dead inside their home on Friday. The girls were just 11 and 16. Police were called to the house near 5th and Division Street for a medical incident and welfare check. The Winnebago County Sheriff's Office says this is an isolated incident and there is no threat to the public.
As the Milwaukee Public Museum prepares to move to its new downtown location, the county is looking for a developer to transform the old space.
The county has issued a request for proposals for the nearly 4-acre Wells Street Museum campus, giving developers until mid-October to submit redevelopment plans. According to the RFP, proposals could include demolishing the existing building, preserving portions of the complex, or adapting the space for new uses. The county is encouraging high-density, mixed-use development with housing, including affordable units. The current museum is set to close in January. The new Nature and Culture Museum of Wisconsin, located at 6th and McKinley, is expected to open sometime next spring. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A new phone scam is circulating across Jefferson County. Sheriff's Office says people are posing as members of their department and calling people saying they either have a warrant out or that they missed jury duty. Then the scammers ask you for money to pay the fake fines. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says they will never call to request payment over the phone, and they won't ask for prepaid cards, gift cards, or wire transfers. Also, if you get one of these calls, do not give out any personal information.
A Marquette basketball player giving back to the Milwaukee community before the school year begins.
Adrian Stevens spent Tuesday handing out backpacks and school supplies to local children at a Northside Boys and Girls Club.
Support systems are, what make people thrive. I've had a great support system at Marquette. Being able to, do something like this and give back to the community and, hopefully I can do other things like this in the future.
He tells WTMJ his hometown in Maryland inspired him to invest in Milwaukee's community.
There's a couple of times in my community where, like basketball players or athletes or, just people from that community would come back and give back. So, I just was inspired by that to continue to do this.
School begins for MPS students on September 1st. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Wow, 4 weeks from today. It's coming up quickly. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
Hey, when was the last time you talked to your doctor about poop?
Seriously?
Well, if you have constipation with belly pain that keeps coming back, it could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C.
I don't, what?
So talk to your doctor because Linzess could help you get ahead of it. Oh, you there.
Linzess linaclotide is the #1 prescribed branded treatment for IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once daily prescription pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Summer's biggest tradition is back. The Wisconsin State Fair returns August 6th through the 16th with 11 days of family fun. Enjoy legendary cream puffs, can't miss fair foods, live music, thrilling rides in Spin City, amazing animal exhibits, shopping, and entertainment around every corner. Whether you're craving a classic corn dog or this year's newest food creations, there's something for everyone. Get your tickets today and start planning your visit at wistatefair.com. We'll see you at the Wisconsin State Fair.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers President of Baseball Operations Matt Arnold adds 3 pitchers to the 40-man roster prior to Monday's trade deadline.
You get in this time of year, you always need as much pitching as you can, and I think these guys just fit in very different ways, and we're still working through what those roles are going to look like, but we're excited to have all of them.
Dustin May is expected to make his Brewers debut during the homestand, maybe as early as Thursday in the series finale against the Pirates. Meanwhile, lefty reliever Jojo Romero is recovering from an emergency appendectomy. He is expected to be available later this month. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6:05. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur says it's going to be a work in progress when referring to the uneven start for rookie kicker Trey Smack. Smack is the only kicker in Packers camp, but LaFleur will not confuse the lack of competition for a lack of pressure.
I think he's got plenty of pressure on him, just on a day-to-day. I mean, that's why we're talking about this for so long, right? Because there's a lot of interest, and there's going to be pressure no matter what position you play in this league. It's just the nature of our league. So but I'm confident that he will work his way through it.
Packers begin the preseason August 13th against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Check Checking out the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We're doing pretty good. No crashes to report. We do have our typical slowdowns at our construction zones, but we have a number of disabled vehicles downing the system. Most of them are not causing any problems. The latest one is a broken down vehicle on the exit to County C from I-94 East out in the Delafield area. And I'll tell you what, I pulled up the camera, and just as I did, I saw a tow truck going by with a car on it. So that one just cleared.
Oh, it's a beautiful day on Monday. Nice day today with temperatures warming up a little bit, and rain appears to be on the way. What does that mean for timing? What does it mean for Wednesday? Let's welcome in Lindsay Slater, TMJ4 meteorologist. Hi, Lindsay.
Howdy, guys. How you doing?
Are you doing well here? It's a beautiful day today. Get it and enjoy it while you can, right? Rain moving in later on.
You got it. And it's also, it's pretty sticky. I'm sure you felt the difference in the humidity today. I was on my way in and I opened my window and I'm like, ugh, there it is. Yeah. But we definitely have the rain that will be on the way. At this point, what you're going to notice, like on your way home, you're going to notice that the clouds are going to pick up. That's kind of it. After about 8 or 9 o'clock, this is when the system is kind of like starting. We'll get maybe like a pop-up here, a thunderstorm there, nothing too big to worry about. And then overnight, it kind of starts to really move its way in. We get these like batches of light to moderate rainfall, maybe some downpours, some lightning. And this happens over a series of hours. I do think we'll have kind of a soggy start to the day on Wednesday based on what I'm seeing right now. And then there's going to be some breaks. Middle of the morning, like 9 a.m., we'll probably get a healthy break, maybe another little batch in the afternoon, and then the whole system kind of shifts down to the south. So it takes a lot of the heavy rain potential with it, which is good because then it's someone else's problem. But for us, and especially, I say that in all seriousness, I say that because we just had gone through a heavier rain event. I really don't want another one on top of it. We don't need flooding concerns, especially with the state fair starting.
Yes.
So I think that we'll just get these rounds of rain starting overnight. We'll get a little bit in the morning, and then everything's going to kind of wrap up and shift south. That is as long as my least favorite front, the stationary front, does what it's supposed to do and move south. They notoriously don't behave, and they can wiggle back and forth. So that might put us back in a rainy zone in the afternoon. So it's one of those I'll be watching the radar all day kind of days, seeing where the frontal boundary sets up. It will be gone in time for the state fair tomorrow. We'll see clouds decreasing for the fair. It looks great. I think overall, most areas tomorrow get between 1 and 3 inches of rain. It doesn't look like it's severe. It's going to be cloudy all day, so there's no real opportunity for some any energy. But yeah, you might get a healthy downpour or some gusty winds or some lightning out of that.
Well, I am so happy to see that on Thursday for the start of the state fair that we're just looking at early showers, because you mentioned we don't need that for state fair, but also I think about just, the mental impact for some of the vendors who are going to be there, because some of those people who were there were also there at the end of State Fair last year when we had just that terrible flash flooding. So I feel like you don't want it for the start, but also just those people don't need to have that flashback, right?
Oh, absolutely not. And the thing about it, too, is that it's what caused that system was also a stationary front.
That's right.
So and that's what they do. They stall. So as long as this guy doesn't stall, it's very hard to get an event like what we had last year. I want to say that out of the gate. It looks like it kind of moves its way south and kind of pushes towards Chicago throughout the day. It doesn't show signs to me that it's going to stall. But again, stationary fronts notoriously don't behave. Weather models don't handle them very well either. It's not clear cut like a cold front moves through and it's gone. These are ones that like to wiggle back and forth, and they'll come back for a little bit and then they'll go back down and then they'll come back up. So yeah, I'll be watching it. The system that we had on August 9th of last year, yes, stationary front, but we also had training thunderstorms, which means the front got stuck and then storms just kept propagating on it. We had an immense amount of energy. It was very hot and humid that day. We don't even have anything close to that setup. The high is 75 tomorrow, and we don't have that kind of moisture in the atmosphere. So I want to just squash that rumor. I had someone email me saying, is this going to be State Fair 2.0? I'm like, no. It is not going to be that. It's a stationary front, but it's just rounds of rain.
We'll get it out of the way on Wednesday, right? The fair begins in earnest on Thursday. And, you got the Storm Chaser out there. We'll be sure to say hello, Lindsay. It'll be fun.
Yes, I'm excited. And I think I'll be out there Monday. So I know our crew is going to be out there. Of course, that chaser is going to be there every day. And I encourage people to come on up, say hi. We show you the inside of the chaser, all the bells and whistles, kind of how it all works. It's really exciting.
Good stuff, Lindsay. We'll check in again later this week. Thank you.
You bet.
1:43 here on WTMJ.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
Downtown is more than a destination. It's a community where relationships are built every day, where neighbors become friends and friends become family. I'm Christina Bianchini with the Bianchini Experience. With 4 businesses serving downtown, we bring impeccable hospitality to every experience we create.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Well, when Mother Nature rears her ugly head, you want to make sure your house can protect you against the elements. And that could mean the best in siding, doors, roofing, windows, you name it. Whatever protects your house and makes it look sharp, you can rely on Siding Unlimited for the install of those great high-quality products, including Pella Windows or LP Smart Side Siding, the best in roofing shingles, all right there at Siding Unlimited. Got a very cool showroom as well. You'll see that out in Brookfield near Gerke's Corners, 665 Larry Court, the address. Stop in. Bring some pictures, bring some thoughts and ideas, and then connect with their incredible craftsmen and figure out what they can do for you. They've done incredible work on our homes over the years, and they are the best in the business. It's a family-owned business. Eric and Aaron Brown took the business over from their father, who started a siding business back in the day, and all they've done is expand their services, and that's how they got the name Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Check out sidingunlimited.com.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Have you ever wondered if you're giving the right way? Maybe you want to support a charity that's important to you, but you're not sure how it fits into your estate plan or what it means for your family's future. Join Annex Wealth Management for a free webinar, More Giving, Less Guessing. Hear from me, yours truly, Steve Scavidi, and CEO Dave Spano, estate planning attorney Alec Durand, as we share practical strategies to help you give with confidence and create the legacy you envision. Reserve your free spot today at annexwealth.com/events. That's annexwealth.com/events.
Come on into Tyson's, more for you.
This summer, Tyson's is giving one lucky winner the ride of a lifetime. A 2026 Harley-Davidson Street Glide Liberty Edition or $30,000 cash. You pick. Entering is free. Visit your local Tyson's and scan the sweepstakes QR code. One entry per day. And you can come back every day for another chance to win. Sweepstakes run July 4th through September 7th. We'll see you there. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 18 and older. Void where prohibited. See official rules at Tysons.com.
The family-owned Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring line cooks, dishwashers, and third-shift cleaners. You'll make real money in a fun, busy atmosphere. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today and start next week. Visit MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Kind of a strange story here, but it's also a reminder that scammers and those who want to commit a cybercrime really know no boundaries. At least 7 states, including Minnesota, Michigan, and Georgia, have reported cyber intrusions targeting water and wastewater systems. I mean, you think, well, what the heck? What are they doing here? Is it just trying to, mess with people? Or is there ransom here? Do they want money? But if you start to think of the ultimate implications or potential worst-case scenario, it's potentially a very dangerous situation. More than 30 systems hit in Minnesota, 9 in Michigan, some incidents in Georgia alongside some other states. Let's welcome in Rich Frankel, former special agent in charge of the FBI in New York. Rich, good to speak with you again.
Yes, my pleasure. Yeah, this is it was just 1 or 2 states, and it looks like it's expanded a bit. It may be under the same attack. And it's just being known now because all the other municipalities and states are starting to look at their protocols and possibly seeing that they were that there was a hack intrusion on them.
There was a memo in late July from the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, and it was warning that water and wastewater systems. It was warning those groups about possible threats from malicious cyber actors after the attacks in Minnesota. And as we hear this, I think it's just natural to think, might Wisconsin be next? What should the average person here in Wisconsin know about all this?
Yeah, so personally, they should not. There is no cause for alarm, as far as their water into their house and, an actual safety hazard from the water, at least as of right now. FBI, EPA, CISA, which is the cybersecurity infrastructure agency, all of them have said that while, this was a hack, it has not caused harm at this point. So what you really need to know is that if you get a warning about it, it really just means that you should be careful more about your cyber than your actual water supply, at least for now. Of course, anything could change. But the main issue right now is that all of these water supply systems, the hack was basically got into some of the controls of these water systems, and the systems themselves, in other words, the states now have put in protocols where they have gone to manual control sometimes so that cyber issues are not going to be the problem. The only real issue I could see is that you may lose water or your waste systems for a very short amount of time, but even that hasn't been an issue yet.
So you kept saying for now, Rich, like don't worry about the stuff going on at your house for now. So what is the primary goal then? Is it just disruption? Is there a money play here? Because if you think about worst case scenario, you hack into the system, all of a sudden the chemical formulas to release, chlorine, fluoride, or any one of a number of things into the water system, your drinking water, that could happen. It could cause issues, a ripple effect for fire departments who have to tend to the water to put out emergency situations. So there's a long list of things that could potentially be disastrous.
Yeah, and right now we have not seen any requests for ransom. Basically like a ransomware that we've seen in the cyber industry or the cyber security issues for a long time. This is more, at least believed to be more right now, coming from a group that is connected to Iran. It's basically a proxy of Iran, and it appears that it's more to cause distress and focus on this issue than an actual ransom for it. And it also has not, as we were just saying, it has not caused real harm. But could it do it in the future? Possibly. The good thing is now almost every state, all the municipalities, have realized what the issue is. FBI, cybersecurity command, all of that have put out warnings as to how you can overcome this particular hack. But again, I think if it is directed out of Iran, this is more to cause distress to us. It's taking focus away from Iran and the hostilities over there and actually putting an issue here in our own backyard. And it's something that Iran has always been very good at. We've known them to have a fairly good cyber, attack program. And what they're doing is they're showing that they are able to do it and that, USA, you've got to be worried about us. So again, I think it's more that it takes focus away from the Iranian conflict itself in Iran and kind of puts it on our shores.
Rich, we've seen cyber attacks hit businesses. I know I worked for a company in the past that had a ransomware attack, and that just basically, it almost shut us down in a way. We've seen cyber attacks hit schools. We've seen cyber attacks hit hospitals. Why are water systems becoming such an attractive target at this point?
I think there was a hole. This started with one particular device. They call it a PLC, but basically it's a device that has control over, basically how to turn on and turn off certain systems. And through that hole, the hackers were able to get into the water systems. And it appears that the other municipalities that may have been attacked also have this same device. So the FBI, EPA, et cetera, have all put out this warning that if you have that device, you either have to take it offline and get a new device, you have to put in place some cybersecurity measures, some patches for it, and you also have to be up to date in your procedures in how to shut it off and actually go to manual controls. But again, it just appears to be through that hole. So I don't think, again, that, this is a widespread hack and that every water system supply is getting hit because of this. But as you said, everyone has been hit in the past, and the possibility of other parts of our infrastructure getting hit by Iran is definitely a possibility. And again, that's why I think Iran did this, to let us know that, hey, you're not as immune from our reach as you think you are, and you be on the lookout.
So, Rich, as a former agent in charge of the FBI in New York, how do you handle situations like this where you believe the threat is coming from overseas? You don't try your best to mitigate damages. What do you do as a former special agent in charge of the FBI?
Yeah, so the FBI, we're not the protection side. That's handled by DHS and the CISA and a couple other agencies. We're actually in the, and I don't want to call it retribution, but we're in the investigation and finding people who have done this and then bringing them to justice. So in the FBI, we will be looking into, or they will be looking into, all the different mechanisms to identify who did this, even if they're overseas. And we have done this in the past in Iran, China, Russia, other parts of the world. Through the investigative process, FBI is pretty good at identifying who these people are that are committing these hacks. And then if they're able to, they would actually bring an indictment, through Department of Justice. And while sometimes that might just be a paper tiger because, the people are overseas, if they travel and go to a country that is friendly to the United States, there's usually a notice that's out there, and they will be arrested, and then they will be transported back to the U.S. and stand trial. And that has happened on several occasions in the past. So I do see the FBI out there doing what we've done, throughout, which is investigate what the crime is, who the criminals are that have done it, and then work with the Department of Justice, the prosecutors, and do our best to get an indictment against them.
There also just seems like there's this other human element to this as well, because while it's just a cyber attack at this point, and certainly if you have a ransomware attack at a business, you don't want that. Obviously, you're worried about your money in your company, but there's something different about this as well, because you've got these cyber attacks hitting at least 7 states, and we're talking about our water. So I think for Nancy and Bob down the street, it's also just has an extra layer of, well, that's kind of scary, because what could happen next? Could they get something in our water? And I feel like this just feels a little different because of that.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And that's, you're right on point. And that's the issue with actually every part of our infrastructure. If they get into our water supply or are able to do something to our water supply, that's going to hit every resident, every citizen in the United States. If they're able to get into the hospitals and turn off on power, that's going to affect everyone who goes to hospitals. If they, are able to get into the electric grid and overload one part of the grid, that will cause us to lose power. So that is why they do target the infrastructure, because it is such a, it hits so close to home and it can affect so many people. And that's why all these different agencies, government, state, local, federal, municipalities, they have to keep their cybersecurity protocols up to date, and they have to keep checking them. For a while there, I think we had a time when you put cybersecurity in place and then you didn't look again. It's like locking the door. Okay, I locked it. I don't have to check it again. Well, now not only do you have to lock it, but you have to go back and make sure that lock is still in place, that it hasn't jiggled at all, and that no one's been able to somehow jimmy it open. And so that's where I think cybersecurity has gone, as far as the infrastructure, and as you were saying, that's why we have to make sure that it doesn't hit as close to home anymore, that we're able to protect all the people in the United States from all of these issues related to cybersecurity.
Rich Frankel, former special agent in charge of the FBI in New York. We appreciate it, Rich. Thanks for joining us today.
Rich. Thank you. Have a great day.
You bet. It's 1:57. We've got 2 o'clock headlines coming up.
25 years ago, a generational Bucs team made an unforgettable run.
This is the place to be.
Write It Up, narrated by Jim Paschke, is the new season of the Behind the Bucs podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. This is the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucs and their run to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Absolute bedlam
Welcome here at the Bradley Center.
Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
WTMJ's Jessica Ty for Steinhoffels. Upgrade your sleep and save on Beauty Rest. Right now at Steinhoffels, get a free foundation with your Beauty Rest mattress purchase. Queens start at only $14.99. Or step up to the luxury of a Beauty Rest Black King adjustable base set and get $500 instant cash. Just like that, instant savings. Plus, with Steinhoffels' 60-month financing, better sleep has never been more affordable. Don't overpay for a great night's sleep. Shop in store or online at steinhoffels.com. Relax. It's Steinhoffels.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Big Fish Contracting. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
When should you take Social Security? Hi, I'm Tony Drake, certified financial planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. For many retirees, Social Security is one of the most important income sources they'll have. But deciding when to claim your benefits isn't always simple. Claim early, and your monthly benefits may be permanently reduced. Wait too long, and you might miss years of income you could have received. The right strategy depends on several factors: your health, your spouse's benefits, your other retirement income, and how taxes could affect what you keep. At Drake & Associates, we help Wisconsin families coordinate Social Security with the rest of their retirement plan so it works alongside your investments, taxes, and income strategy. To help you get started, I'm offering my complimentary retirement toolkit. It includes my book, Get Retirement Ready, and 5 guides that explain how Social Security fits into a complete retirement plan. Call 414-897-9522 or text TAX to that number for your no-cost toolkit. That's 414-897-9522 or text the word TAX to 414-897-9522. Because when it comes to Social Security, the right timing can make a big difference.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
There's no place like home. And nothing like Brewers baseball.
To pitch is lined out to right. This is headed for the seats. It is gone! Jake Bowers with an absolute laser.
The Brewers take on the Pirates tonight at American Family Field.
Struck him out swinging at 103.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm Greg Mansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, a deadline missed in a police investigation in Madison.
I'm Jessica Ty, calling for an ethics investigation into himself.
Chance of storms tonight, expected late night, could linger into tomorrow. Multiple rounds of rain expected on Wednesday and a high of 75. It's 86 degrees, partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 203. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, leaders in the city of Madison miss a deadline to release information into the death of Corey Ruiz, the man who died in a police shooting on July 22nd after allegedly pulling a knife during a confrontation with police. Madison's independent police monitor, Mika Glass, filed a subpoena for access to the police evidence days after Ruiz passed away.
We know that there is dash cam video, so when people talk about the angles and don't jump to conclusions, they could release the dash cam video. There is also summary reports. Anytime there's a critical incident, even if you're not the officer involved, but you responded to the call, there are multiple summaries, there's communications.
She says the Madison City Attorney, the District Attorney, and Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway failed to turn over the requested materials by the July 31st deadline.
Ohio Congressman Max Miller is filing an ethics investigation into himself as calls for him to resign are mounting. News Nation's Nicole Burley.
Miller is facing serious allegations of domestic abuse from his ex-wife, Emily Moreno, who is the daughter of Senator Bernie Moreno. Moreno says Miller threw scalding hot water at her, held a gun to her head, and broke their toddler daughter's collarbone. Now, Miller denies all of the accusations and has filed a defamation lawsuit against Moreno.
A lawyer for Miller took responsibility today for inadvertently releasing sensitive photos of the Ohio Republican's daughter in the materials Miller published Sunday in a bid to defend himself against the domestic abuse claims.
The deportation case against Islamic Society of Milwaukee President Salah Sarsour continues in federal immigration court in Chicago.
Sarsour's legal team plans to call several witnesses today, and following the testimony, his attorneys are expected to ask the judge to dismiss the deportation case, arguing the decades-old convictions in Israel are unreliable and that the government's case is ultimately aimed at silencing his pro-Palestinian advocacy. Federal prosecutors claim Sarsour lied on immigration applications and attempted to register to vote despite not being a U.S. citizen. The judge overseeing the case is expected to make a decision next month. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Decision Wisconsin. Cities across our state are testing their election machines ahead of the gubernatorial primary next week.
Prior to the August 11th primaries, ballot machines across the state are screened multiple times before they are sealed to be opened by poll workers on Election Day.
It's a long day, too, so we'll get here. Polls open at 7. Staff gets here at like 6, 5:36. And then you stay till every ballot's been entered. Even though polls close at 8, you still have to finish processing.
Deputy City Clerk Maggie Poplar.
Definitely have to like elections because it's part of the job.
The machines must be confirmed to have 0 counting errors before they are approved for use. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Big day on the markets here. The Dow is surging over 1,000 points in the green at 54,231, about 2%. NASDAQ, similar situation, up 725 points at 26,640. And the S&P flying today, up 151 points at 7751. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:07.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet. They do life's heavy lifting, so we owe them the greatest attention in return. The Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network provides expert orthopedic and spine care to help you move, lift, turn, and reach with the most possible ease. Whether you have a sports-related injury or a nagging condition that just won't go away, excellence should always be an option. So we make our care available in nearby locations and offer same-day ortho and spine appointments when relief can't wait. It's how to recover quicker, prevent small concerns from becoming big ones, and solve complex issues with the expertise you can only get with academic medicine. We're given just one body, so let's tend to it, check in on it. Let's give it the greatest of care, because when it's tuned up and injury-free, we can always be pushing ahead. To learn more about our nationally recognized orthopedic and spine care, visit freighter.com/ortho.
If you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy, because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burkhart Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find. With an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service,
You can't beat Burkhart.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Brewers President of Baseball Operations Matt Arnold expects newly acquired starting pitcher Dustin May to slide right into the rotation at some point during the homestand. May, one of three pitchers acquired by the Brewers in advance of the trade deadline.
You can never have enough pitching, and I think the guys that we got are pretty battle-tested, experienced guys. Talked about Dustin May and Jojo Romero and Antonio Sanzatella. Like, these guys have pitched in some big games, and they're tough and they're experienced, and so I think they're going to fit in really well.
Romero's expected to miss a couple of weeks after having his appendix removed. Sanzatella could be available out of the pen as early as tonight against the Pirates. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ. The Packers signed a long snapper and released kicker Lenny Krieg. That means the only kicker in camp is sixth-round rookie draft pick Trey Smack.
We drafted Trey, so we definitely have high hopes for him and understand that with all young kickers, there's typically some growing pains that are associated with that. But, just want to push him to be his best.
Smack is 8 of 13 on field goals during the 2 days of live kicking.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. It's been an okay afternoon for the most part. We do still have a number of disabled vehicles dotting the system, but they're really not causing any problems. I'm taking a peek at them right now. We do have one of the more recent ones here. 4194 South at Highway 50. Left shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down in that spot. That's in Kenosha County, and there is a decent amount of traffic just whizzing on by, but it doesn't look like it's causing any delays. As I take a peek at some of the other ones, those are looking good too. We do have our delays in the construction zones, but that's nothing out of the ordinary. It is a little bit heavier as far as the delays right now on 94 eastbound and westbound around American Family Field.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox & Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox & Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lindsay Slater with your Storm Team 5-day forecast. For tonight, we have those temperatures going back down to the upper 60s, and we do have some pop-up and isolated showers and thunderstorms. This gets a little bit more coverage overnight and into early Wednesday morning. Then we have rounds of rain through the day. Most of it's in the morning. It starts to subside in the afternoon with highs near 75 degrees. Overall, 1 to 3 inches of rain likely falling during this time, with the heaviest amounts pushing down to the south. Thursday, 78 degrees. Great for the first day of the Wisconsin State Fair with those clouds decreasing through time. Friday, 81 with higher heat and humidity, and Saturday does feature a chance at some storms that we could have in the afternoon with a high of 85 degrees. The latest interactive radar is available at tmj4.com.
It's 85 degrees in Milwaukee at 212.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
But it's all right, get the rain out of the way before the State Fair begins on Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday look fantastic. Getting off to a good start here after the fair ended so abruptly last year with that flooding. It was just a devastating situation for so many at the fair, really all around southeastern Wisconsin. But a good start to the fair, it appears, looking at the forecast.
Gotta love that. You know, some of those vendors will be back this year.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the Madison intersection where a man was shot and killed by police last month is now clear. Nearly 2 weeks after Corey Ruiz was killed, the encampment that grew at the intersection of Baldwin and Williamson is gone. City crews arrived this morning to move people out. Didn't happen without some issues, though. Protesters started a few fires that have since been put out. The mayor said some people were throwing rocks as well. WMTV in Madison reports police arrested at least 10 people. But the signs and the barricades, they are down now. The memorial is gone. Even the street sweepers have come through at this point. The mayor made it very clear over the last few days that she wanted the encampment to end. She said it was hurting nearby businesses. And she also released a video statement today. Here's part of it.
Many hard conversations to come, and I look forward to us coming together as a community to have them. I ask that if you truly care about building a better future, you allow local businesses to stay open, residents to freely access their homes, and the intersection of Williamson and Baldwin Streets to stay open. Let's focus our energy on the hard work of sustainable change. Holding government accountable for progress should not mean harming the community we all share. Thank you, Madison. We are a strong and compassionate community. Together, we can support each other. Together, we can work towards change.
Madison police shot Ruiz after he pulled out a knife during a struggle with officers. He was 38 years old.
Well, Democratic candidates for governor making a final push with 1 week until the primary election. Today marks the official start of early in-person voting across Wisconsin, prompting candidates to target key high-turnout voter hubs around the state. The latest Marquette University Law School poll suggests 34% of voters are still undecided. Poll director Charles Franklin.
It reflects how slow this race was to develop. It's people not tuning in until these last 2 or 3 weeks of the campaign. But they are tuning in now. And if we push people who are undecided and say, if you had to choose, what would you do? Then we're down to about 14% undecided and not leaning in any direction.
Today, David Crawley, back in Milwaukee, touting the support of union leaders. Joel Brennan scheduled to host a meet and greet in Hales Corners on Wednesday, and then a town hall in Beloit on Thursday. Both were in the Fox Valley on Monday. State Senator Kelda Royce is hosting a meet and greet today in Burlington. And frontrunner Francesca Hong's campaign trail moves from Madison to Milwaukee today with a focus on working class communities.
2 alleged drunk drivers, 1 crash scene. Wait until you hear how this unfolded. It's 2:16.
Capri Communities presents Golden Memories from the Wisconsin State Fair.
Hi, my name is Connie. Back in 1971, after a long day at the fair, trying to meet boys, we decided to go to the grandstand show, which was Karen and Richard Carpenter. And we sat behind 3 boys. And one of those boys, to get him to pay attention to me, I took his wallet. When we got married on June 2nd, 1979.
Join Capri Communities at the Wisconsin State Fair Monday, August 10th for Senior Day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's, made proudly in the state of Wisconsin for 60 years. Boy, there's a slice for every appetite. A big fan of the Screamin' Sicilian. That is overflowing with toppings. They got a thin and crispy version of that. They've got a tavern style, and they've got the original. I love them all, as a matter of fact. No better pizza in my book, and it's made by Palermo's. You might like the Primo Thin a little bit better. You might like a Connie's or an Urban Pie or a Stranger Things pizza. It's delicious. All made by Palermo's. Why not support local and eat great with Palermo's? Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Stop off at the store and find the frozen food aisle. You'll notice Palermo's brand pizza stocked all ready for you. And grab a slice, grab a couple of them. Put them in the freezer, one in the oven tonight, and answer the question yourself with Palermo's. What's for dinner? Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Appliance Gallery, right on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee. Their gorgeous showroom is the most up-to-date in our state, featuring luxury brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. They'll work right with your contractor or designer and make the process seamless. They even offer brands where you can choose from custom colors. As a small family-owned company with one location, they deliver impeccable service with a personal touch. Visit ApplianceGalleryWY.com or stop in today.
Are you a fan of the Brewers and WTMJ? Yes! Do you want to have a cold one with your favorite hosts on a Saturday night at the ballpark?
Yes, sir.
Join us for our WTMJ Day tailgate on Saturday, August 29th for a game against the Rangers, presented by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's. Enjoy food and drinks from Left's Lucky Town and a ticket to the game afterwards to snag a Jackson Cheerio Bowl giveaway. Register today at WTMJ.com.
Well, clouds will start rolling in here somewhere around your commute, 5, 6 o'clock or so. Rain possible tonight. Overnight, more likely. You could hear some thunder later on this evening. And rain expected to be in multiple rounds on Wednesday with a high of 75. Should clear up eventually on Thursday with a high of 81. Friday's high, 81 under mostly sunny skies. 85 and a little mix of sun and clouds in Milwaukee at 219.
We'll file this one under "It happened in Wisconsin" and put it in the red folder for bad, not the green one for good. This is incredibly disappointing. 2 different drunk driving arrests at the exact same crash scene. The situation unfolded in Dane County around 3:30 this morning. Deputies responded to a call about a semi that had rolled into a ditch in the town of Barry. The driver wasn't hurt, but was cited for first offense OWI. Then, while deputies were still cleaning up that crash, another driver sideswiped one of the squad cars and kept going.
Oh, jeez.
Deputies stopped that driver a short distance away in Cross Plains, and that driver was arrested for third offense OWI.
Where do you begin on something like this, right? You're trying to handle one issue, a second issue arises. Both issues are incredibly related here and for all the wrong reasons. And somebody behind the wheel probably shouldn't be behind the wheel if it's a third offense.
Well, and when those deputies were cleaning up the original, that crash, the one that they were called out to, they had their emergency lights flashing and everything. So then they say this driver just goes by, sideswipes one of the squad cars and kept going. So, of course, they're like, what? And then following that one, the sheriff just released a statement today that says every time someone chooses to get behind the wheel while impaired, they are making a decision that can change lives forever. He goes on to say this serves as a reminder that impaired driving doesn't just put the driver at risk, it endangers everyone, including our deputies who have dedicated their lives to protecting our community.
I have a lot of talk with my kids about what it's like to drive a car, right? They ask me, my daughter is about to be 12 years old. Like, is driving fun? Like, well, it is. I enjoy driving. I think it's enjoyable. But I'm always in this world of immense trust when I'm behind the wheel. I trust that you, Jessica, are not going to be looking at your phone when I drive by you. I trust that you are going to see that red light. I trust that you've not had enough to drink. We may not know each other. We're passing 100 cars on the road on our way home, probably well more than that. And I have trust. I have to trust that the people next to me are going to be doing the right thing. But I am always skeptical.
Yeah,
and that's
for sure.
why my head is always on a swivel. That's why I'm always paying attention. That's why I'm always looking at the off-ramp. I'm looking at the lights. Is somebody turning? Is somebody trying to sneak out? There's that little bit of the yellow and maybe bleeding into the red and making a turn they shouldn't be making. You have to be so ultra alert when you're on the road. And it's situations like this that are really hard to plan for. But it's one of those situations in life where you kind of have to trust the people you don't know, but you're skeptical to do it.
I am always anticipating what might happen because I feel like you see so many bad drivers out there. And listen, nobody's perfect, right? But I'm often, especially downtown and at certain times, anticipating what might happen, even though that's not what is supposed to happen, just in case.
Yeah, downtown's a whole nother animal, right? And in certain areas of downtown, much worse than others, and we've seen speed bumps and things to try and curb speed, but you just overall reckless driving, whether it's texting, drunk driving, high rate of speed, you name it. It still runs rampant here in our state.
And it's not always reckless driving. I think about just my short commute into work today. And I had to anticipate a lot of things because I was going, just driving up not too far from my place and going pretty slow in the neighborhood. And there was a stop sign where I typically take a left-hand turn. You could go a number of ways to get here, but I typically take a left-hand turn. And there was somebody who was going to be walking across the area that I was about to turn into. And so I was watching that person to make sure they would go past before I would go over there. But then there was also somebody just whizzing by. And I want to call it a scooter, but it wasn't really a scooter. It was kind of one of those scooters with a seat. Does that make sense? Like a scooter, you can sit on it. Not a bubbler. And it wasn't a bike.
Sort of like an electric bike / scooter thing?
Something like that. It was kind of unique. But he was just whizzing by. And I'm amazed sometimes at some of these people. It seems like they have no fear as they're whizzing by. I know there are a lot of responsible people who use the scooters, and I get it. I mean, they're awesome in downtown when they're used appropriately. But some of these people, too, it shocks me as they just go whizzing by. And I'm like, are they paying attention? Are they paying attention to any of us? So we've got to pay attention to everybody.
About a half hour left in the program here. We've got Wisconsin's afternoon news on deck. Then it's Brewers baseball tonight. 6:05, the coverage begins. The new members of the Brewers are with the team, which is a good thing. Might even see one of the newest starters, Dustin May, on the mound as they wrap up the series at the Pirates on
Is JoJo there?
Thursday. JoJo had an emergency appendectomy, but apparently he's resumed his throwing program, but may not be ready to pitch for the Brewers until a couple of weeks, maybe later this month. As one who has undergone an emergency appendectomy, I know what that's like. At the age of 9, when my appendix exploded, that was kind of a raw deal. Yeah, it's going to take a minute, but you're supposed to be in a Brewers uniform and throwing for the Brewers sometime later this month. It's 2:24 here on WTMJ. If you haven't subscribed to the Wisconsin's Midday News Podcast, we'd love it if you did. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us. Our podcast page built by Siding Unlimited. Also, check us out on YouTube. We've got full shows. We've got clips. We've got the best of Wisconsin's Midday News each and every day on our YouTube page.
And stay with us because coming up at 2:37, we've got a fun one to end the show. Could a couple from Milwaukee be America's favorite couple? We'll introduce you to one half of that couple.
Coming up on 2:25 here on WTMJ.
In Wisconsin, we know the value of a great home team. It's people who know the field, show up, and play for us. That's what you get with Wisconsin's community health plans. They understand the providers, the local needs, and are committed to helping families, businesses, and communities thrive. Your health, your community, your plan. Learn more at wicommunityhealthplans.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Association of Health Plans.
Well, as life evolves, it's good to have a partner you can evolve with. It's also great to have a financial advisor who can help you through those twists and turns. The evolution of your life, well, things take on added significance as you get closer to retirement age. You work with Annex Wealth Management, and they'll guide you through the process. Incredible people at Annex Wealth Management. They build a customized plan for you because your situation is custom, right? Are you on the right path to retirement? Do you have enough saved? Are you diversified enough? These are all great questions that Annex can help answer, and they can get you on the right path. You work with the team members at Annex. You outline your goals. Where do you want to be? When do you want to retire? And they can help get you on a path. As a fee-only fiduciary, they act in your best interest. They're not commissioned sales individuals trying to push a product that you probably don't need. It's Annex Wealth Management from start to finish. They've got CPAs. They've got tax planning experts. Well, you want to have a dizzying exercise? Try and follow all the tax law changes in our world every year. That's nearly impossible. But the folks at Annex, they know how to do it. Are you thinking about setting up a trust for your family members? Well, you can do that with Annex. Really, anything with your financial situation falls into the world of Annex Wealth Management. Check out annexwealth.com. Click on the events tab. See what they're doing in your community and how you can connect with the folks at Annex.
Sports parents know the countless hours and dollars spent on practice, games, equipment, training, travel. So when an injury happens, why don't we invest in recovery too? Vince Vitrano for MD Hyperbaric. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy supports the body's natural healing process, whether it's recovering from injury or a concussion. Because it's not just about getting your athlete back on the field, it's about helping them recover for school, work, and life long after the season ends. Learn more at mdhyperbaric.com.
Summer is the time to enjoy the outside. Enjoy the deck, the patio, the fire pit, the shade, the screen room, the in-ground pool. Enjoy all of it in your own backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck with a custom screen room and automated pergola. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Attention travelers! The Fox World Travel Vacation Showcase is coming to Oshkosh on Saturday, September 12th. Meet over 20 top vendors, including major cruise lines, tour companies, hotels, and WTMJ's own Steve Scafidi. Attend expert travel presentations, unlock exclusive booking offers, and enter to win amazing prizes. Registration is required to attend this premium event, and space is limited. Secure your spot today. Visit foxworldtravel.com to register right now.
You might not think of Burkhart for corporate uniforms and other business apparel, but you should, because a lot of businesses do. And it's because most times we're cheaper than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer, plus Nike and Under Armour that the other guys can't get. So for businesses and corporations, if you want your employees to look great while representing your brand, and you want to get your apparel for less, you can't beat Burkhart, your business uniform specialists.
You can't beat Burkhart.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Here's where Milwaukee stands. To close our city's proficiency gap with the state, nearly 20,000 more students need to meet standards in math. Over 16,000 more students need to meet reading standards. Behind every one of those numbers is a child, a future, a worker, a neighbor, a parent. Milwaukee's education story is a Wisconsin story, and the facts are worth knowing. Learn how City Ford Collective is helping Milwaukee navigate our educational challenges and build a stronger future for all of our students at cityfordcollective.org.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill is hiring experienced line cooks and dishwashers. You'll make real money. Night and weekend hours are required. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week. Google and call the Fox and Hounds today.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, clearing the encampment in a Madison intersection.
I'm Jessica Ty. Some of Milwaukee's favorite beaches closed.
Showers and storms, heavy rain possible overnight. Tonight, a low of 68. Tomorrow, multiple rounds of rain.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Bails $1 million for a man arrested for allegedly starting the largest of the three wildfires in Spokane, Washington, that destroyed hundreds of buildings and forced tens of thousands of people from their homes. Sources tell ABC News that President Trump called Congressman Max Miller, Ohio Republican, telling him his re-election campaign's in jeopardy. Miller denying accusations of domestic abuse. Ohio Senator Bernie Moreno, ex-father-in-law of Miller's, wants Miller to resign.
This is truly the seventh level of hell. This has been a horrific experience for my entire family. My daughter specifically did not want this to be out in the public.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has been confirmed by the Senate Judiciary Committee. At least 7 Republican senators previously expressed concerns about his nomination. Blanche can only afford to lose 2 Republican votes in the full Senate vote ahead. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:31. A protest encampment blocking off a Madison intersection for nearly 2 weeks is cleared once again for traffic.
Several protesters hurled rocks at police, and at least 2 fires were set as authorities cleared the intersection of Willie and Baldwin Tuesday morning. For days, Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway had been calling for a peaceful end to the encampment that formed following the death of Corey Ruiz during an arrest attempt last month.
The decision to invoke this option was not made lightly. Multiple efforts and calls to end the occupation peacefully were made, but ultimately ignored.
10 protesters in total were arrested. The officers involved in the Ruiz shooting remain on leave as a state investigation into his death continues. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A sad development up in Door County. Search teams have recovered the bodies of two kayakers who went missing near Washington Island.
The Door County Sheriff's Office says 20-year-old David Thalman from Dundee, Illinois, and 20-year-old Francesca Warwick from South Elgin, Illinois, were pulled from the water on Monday morning. The two were reported missing on Saturday evening after they were last seen on a kayak near Wickman Road on the east side of the island. Neither person was wearing a life jacket. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources closes Bradford, McKinley, and South Shore beaches in Milwaukee because of poor water quality.
The DNR says the closures follow a combined sewer overflow reported by the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District that lasted from Saturday afternoon to early Sunday morning. MMSD says the overflow occurred after more than 2 inches of rain fell across the area, sending a mix of stormwater and wastewater into nearby waterways. The district says combined sewer overflows are used to prevent sewage from backing up into homes during heavy rainfall. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
A local hangout in Germantown catches fire.
First structure fire at the Stage Tavern on the Charlie side of the building. We're going to have you make entry. We're going to have the dump tanks set up inside the parking lot. We do have a lot of heavy smoke coming from the building.
That's audio courtesy of Broadcastify. Firefighters rushed out to Stag's Tavern early this morning. The tavern's owners say they are grateful everyone made it out safe and that the restaurant will be closed until further notice. No word yet on what caused that fire.
Decision Wisconsin. Early voting off to a strong start ahead of Wisconsin's August 11th primary. State election data shows more than 150,000 absentee ballots have been returned so far, including more than 23,000 cast in person at local clerks' offices. That's about halfway to the nearly 295,000 early votes recorded during Wisconsin's 2022 primary election. Dane and Milwaukee counties account for nearly 30% of all early ballots cast.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
Here's why you can feel confident in choosing Less's Glass to fabricate and install your new shower door or glass bath enclosure. For over 40 years, we've done thousands of them. And when you want a new and modern aesthetic added to your bathroom, you want a crew with experience behind it. We fabricate new shower doors or bath enclosures to fit any space of your bathroom, all done in-house. And that's great for quality control. It could be a neo-angle shower stall, a corner enclosure, a bypass for your tub or shower, or a heavy 3/8-inch all-glass enclosure. Any idea you have, framed or frameless, we can handle it. And when you work with a family-owned company, the buck stops here, because we're not satisfied until you are. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
Lake Geneva. It's where families have been making memories around the water for generations. Lakeside resorts and spas, award-winning restaurants, and charming shops are just the beginning of an unforgettable summer getaway. Lake cruises, boating, and beach lounging let you soak up the sun, water, and family time. Hike a lakeshore path, stargaze from an iconic observatory, or soar above it all in a hot air balloon. Go ziplining, visit an animal safari, or see dancing horses. Start making your memories today at visitlakegeneva.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Brewers president of baseball operations Matt Arnold adds 3 pitchers to the 40-man roster prior to Monday's trade deadline.
You get in this time of year, you always need as much pitching as you can, and I think these guys just fit in very different ways, and we're still working through what those roles are going to look like, but we're excited to have all of them.
Dustin May is expected to make his Brewers debut on Thursday. Lefty reliever Jojo Romero is recovering from an appendectomy surgery. He's expected to be available later this month, and reliever Antonio Senzatella could be available as early as tonight's game against the Pirates. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur says it's going to be a work in progress when referring to the uneven start for rookie kicker Trey Smack. He's the only kicker in camp, but LaFleur will not confuse a lack of competition for a lack of pressure.
I think he's got plenty of pressure on him, just on a day-to-day. I mean, that's why we're talking about this for so long, right? Because there's a lot of interest, and there's going to be pressure no matter what position you play in this league. It's just the nature of our league. So but I'm confident that he will work his way through it.
The Packers begin the preseason August 13th against the Steelers.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We do have two new issues I want to let you know about here in Milwaukee County. I want to start on 4145 South at Appleton Avenue. Right lane is closed right now. There's a broken down vehicle, and there is a significant backup. The reason why, I just took a peek at the cameras, it's a broken down semi. So you've got a semi off to the side, and that's in a spot right now where there's construction, and you're kind of down to 2 lanes, so it's just tight as is. So the backups, they are getting longer and longer. It is getting slower and slower. That's 4145 South at Appleton Avenue. Right lane is closed because we have a semi broken down. Oh, and the other incident just cleared.
Overall, pretty nice day today with a high of 86 degrees. We should have some clouds moving in later tonight. Some rain as well in the forecast, especially the overnight hours. Could hear some rumbles of thunder this evening. Rounds of rain on Wednesday and a high of 75. Rain clears out eventually on Thursday, then cloudy with a high of 81 degrees. Friday, the sun returns and a high of 81. It's 85 degrees in Milwaukee at 2:38.
Many first dates are memorable. Matt Torres' first date almost ended before dinner even arrived. He says he nearly choked to death on a mozzarella stick at a popular downtown Milwaukee restaurant.
Been
Greg's
there.
looking at me like, what? The Heimlich was involved. Somehow there was a second date, and now they've built a family. And the reason I'm telling you this, because Matt and his wife Katie are in the running for Variety Magazine's America's Favorite Couple contest. Could a Milwaukee couple be America's favorite couple? Matt joins us live on Midday. Great to have you, Matt.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And hoping for the favorite couple thing. And be careful with mozzarella sticks. Take my advice.
Okay, can we start with that first date? You almost died. Walk us through what happened with that mozzarella stick.
There's a couple years ago when I was very, very nervous. My wife is very beautiful, and I still feel way out of my league. And I took a bite, and I took half of it and went right down and got lodged immediately. And they say, never run away, never go to the bathroom. That's what I did. And I ran to the bathroom, and I could see myself turning blue close to a minute in, and I had to Heimlich myself eventually to get the mozzarella stick out, and took a big breath in and looked in the mirror at the restaurant, happy to be alive, and noticed that my dress shirt had a collar of sweat.
Oh, no.
Great look for a first date.
So did you go back to the table and just like nothing had happened, or did you explain everything? I'm not sure what I would have done in that stand.
I went back out like, hey, how you doing? And she looked at me very confused, asking me what happened. And I'm like, oh, nothing happened. What do you mean? And, she kept asking because I looked awful. And eventually I came clean, and we laughed about it eventually.
Okay, that story, it just needed to be told. So can we, Greg, do you have another question?
Well, it's just that's how
He
you
doesn't
get in
want
the
to fast
running
forward.
for this, right? It's an incredible story, and really one of resilience. Well done. Glad you were able to pull through. But it's sort of the baseline for how this relationship started.
It so is. And the thing is, not everybody is going to be able to know that story. It's our fans listening right now that get a chance to hear that story. And I wanted you to hear that story because I feel like it's just, how Wisconsin is that, right?
Well, that's a very good point, yes.
Okay, let's fast forward to today, though. You guys are raising kids together. You're now competing to become Variety Magazine's America's Favorite Couple. How did you end up entering this contest, and why did you say, you know what, we're going to do this, and we've got a shot?
That is true. We've been together now, married under a month from 20 years. We now have 2 amazing kids who are growing up way too fast. My whole family's a little bit nerdy, but I'm extra nerdy. And I follow Jeff Goldblum. There's a picture from Jurassic Park right there on social media, and he's involved in the contest. And I'm like, we're a great couple. We could be America's favorite couple. We're fun people. We're funny people. We have a great love story. Plus, I'd love to meet Jeff Goldblum, and there's some prize money that would do my family a lot of good, so why not go for it? We have to apply. We've got a shot at this. We're great.
Why in the world is Jeff Goldblum involved in this competition? Do we understand the answer to that?
I'm not sure exactly why he's involved, but it started off with a double date with the winners and Jeff Goldblum and his wife, Emily Goldblum. And then they added also a Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen, because why not? And then they also added Charlie Day and Mary Elizabeth Ellis, who stars with him on Always Sunny. And I'm like, this sounds like a great dinner to go to. Oh my gosh, I have to apply for this. And then we did it, and we got going in the running, and now we're in the top 5 in this category, at least in our group. And that voting ends this week, Thursday, and then it keeps going into the semifinals. And we're hoping to get to number 1 or number 2 to proceed into the finals.
So if you win America's Favorite Couple, you get to share your story in a Variety magazine advertorial, take home $20,000, and going back to that dinner, you have a dinner date in the Hollywood Hills with Jeff Goldblum and his wife, Emily. You are a self-described Jurassic Park nerd. If you win that dinner date with Jeff Goldblum and his wife, what questions are you peppering Dr. Malcolm with, the character who famously warned us about the dangers of tampering with nature?
I mean, I think his warnings, first off, were extremely valid. I think he proved that in the movie. As to the questions it would be, I think I would have to ask a couple questions probably about how it was to work with some of the people involved in the film. Those would be my big ones, being the film guy that I am. But I'd love to sit there and talk movies with him a little bit and talk jazz, because he's a jazz pianist also. I would love the opportunity to do that. I think it'd be a blast.
There is a big charitable...
With my amazing wife at my side.
There's a charitable component to this as well, which I think it's worth bringing up.
Huge.
So the Goldblums are involved, and there's a big charitable component to this. Yes, there's a cash prize, dinner with the Goldblums, but there is a charitable component. So I did a little digging. Why are the Goldblums involved? Well, for charity. And it also, I guess, in this instance, perhaps, benefits this couple out of Wisconsin that gets to hang out with a bit of a hero of sorts.
Well, I'm hoping it's a Wisconsin couple. And if people do want to vote for me or vote for anybody, vote for us or anybody else, if you buy the votes, the money goes towards the Los Angeles Food Bank, helping some of the poorest people in the Los Angeles County have not just meals, but healthy meals. But it also goes towards Oceana to help preserve and save the oceans, and also help people who live in that area around oceans have safe food, which is a great cause.
Such a great cause. We also want to know, too, because I know some of our fans are wondering right now. Well, 2 things. The first one, you already have the money earmarked, I know, if you win. What's the plan with it?
All right. I have a birthday coming up next year that's a little higher than I want to admit to, but we would take our family to New Zealand for a vacation next year, and the rest of it would go towards a safe starter car because our daughter's currently in driver's ed.
A safe starter car. I like that. That is a smart dad. Okay, the final question here, and this is an important one.
Okay.
If people want to vote for you, if our fans want to vote for you, a Milwaukee couple could be America's favorite couple. How do they vote?
There should be a link up at americasfavoritecouple.com. There's also links through my social media, and if you'd like, I can send you guys a link. If you want to post it somewhere, you're welcome to.
In a nutshell, you can pretty much Google America's Favorite Couple.
Yeah.
You see the Variety pop up, and then they pop up. You were looking for Matt and Katie from Milwaukee.
Katie. Correct.
Okay.
There's
fingers
a
crossed.
number of groups. I think if you were to Google America's Favorite Couple, Matt and Katie, that should come right up for you.
Greg, are you voting now?
Yeah, going to do it right now here. I'm trying to make sure there's no mozzarella sticks on the menu for wherever they end up having dinner in the Hollywood Hills. I don't know if that's a big Hollywood kind of thing, but we'll make sure that menu is cleared for you.
And if you're looking for us and you see a beautiful woman next to me, you'll know it's the right couple. Trust me.
Love it. Well, best wishes. Keep us posted on this. We hope you go to the next round. We hope you ultimately win. That's Matt Torres. His first date almost ended in a bad way with a mozzarella stick, but it didn't. He met his beautiful wife. They now have kids, and they are now the Milwaukee couple trying to be America's favorite couple. Good luck, Matt.
Thank you both, and I'll keep you posted.
It's 2:46.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Getting your home ready for summer, you cleaned the floors, but they still don't look nice. Vince Vitrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Carpet worn, floors scratched up, vinyl dated. Let's get my team from Hunt's to upgrade and replace. The compliments will come all summer long. Happened to my house since we got real hardwood installed at a great price from Hunt's. Hunt's Flooring works efficiently, keeps turnaround times quick, so you're not stuck in a long project. Tell them Vinny sent you. Stop out at Highway 100 in Greenfield or get started at huntsflooring.com.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. And at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lindsay Slater with your Storm Team 5-day forecast. For tonight, we have those temperatures going back down to the upper 60s, and we do have some pop-up and isolated showers and thunderstorms. This gets a little bit more coverage overnight and into early Wednesday morning. Then we have rounds of rain through the day. Most of it's in the morning. It starts to subside in the afternoon with highs near 75 degrees. Overall, 1 to 3 inches of rain likely falling during this time, with the heaviest amounts pushing down to the south. Thursday, 78 degrees. Great for the first day of the Wisconsin State Fair with those clouds decreasing through time. Friday, 81 with higher heat and humidity. And Saturday does feature a chance at some storms that we could have in the afternoon with a high of 85 degrees. The latest interactive radar is available at tmj4.com.
It's 85 degrees right now in Milwaukee at 2:50.
Okay, so here's the deal. These days, usually links are pretty easy, or you can just Google America's favorite couple and you get our Milwaukee couple. But for some reason, this contest, it's a little cumbersome. So if you want to vote for them, we want to let you know we can give you the link, and it's not an easy one to just tell you. So if you want the link, text WATCH right now to the Sounding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line. That's WATCH to 855-616-1620. Text WATCH if you want to vote for Matt and his wife, Katie. Matt and Katie Torres, the Milwaukee couple, hoping to be America's favorite couple, and we will deliver the link because it's a long one, and we want to make it easy for you.
Well, he had said he was on the .com website. It's actually a .org website, americafavecouple.org, but you can't seemingly vote from that basic website. You got to follow the link, and it takes you down to the 2026 competition. It's not as easy as it should be, to be perfectly honest with you.
I agree, and that's why we want to make it easy.
But to reiterate something that our guest said, Jeff.
People want to vote.
People want to vote now?
Here they come.
Okay,
people want to vote.
You're going to be busy copying and pasting
Matt.
that thing.
I will make it happen.
Jeff and Emily Goldblum are behind this. So is Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen. Charlie Day and Mary Elizabeth Ellis also a part of this for some reason. They are the America Favorite Couple ambassadors. Yeah, it just seems a little bit odd. But
wait, who is the third couple? I know the first two.
known for roles in Horrible Bosses and Licorice Pizza, respectively. Charlie Day and Mary Elizabeth Ellis act alongside each other on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They've been married since 2006. The pair met in New York City. They have one son. That's about all I got on that.
Can we just go back to Matt's story about
choking on the mozzarella stick?
Yeah, choking on the mozzarella stick at Calderon Club. I mean, they've got some amazing food, but that story, you're never going to forget that one.
I did have a early 20s dating experience. It was someone who I knew from college, and we went out to dinner, and she was allergic to wasabi and had
allergic to wasabi?
Had a kind of an issue there. It was on the plate. It was next to sushi. It was kind of a shared communal plate, and her lip kind of blew up, so we had to manage that situation.
Oh my gosh! Here's the thing. I mean, your tongue can blow up having wasabi if you have too much of it, even if you're not allergic, right?
It's a very good point. Yes, I thought it was an avocado spread. I kind of went after it. I was in my 20s. I didn't know much of wasabi. I didn't know much about sushi. I was trying to be fancy, and it was a horrible.
So her lip blows up,
idea.
And you're choking in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how things went.
At least you didn't have to give yourself the Heimlich like Matt Torres did.
No.
Okay. More people. Here you go. Give us a couple of minutes right after the show here. I will be texting you that link so you can vote for Milwaukee's couple to be America's favorite couple.
We'll wrap up the program with some final thoughts after this.
No matter where you hear WTMJ, whether it be here.
So we are overlooking the bay. We're in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studios.
Or there.
Here live in our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Catch us at home or on the go. Thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
In the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin podcast studio.
We are live wherever you are, on the air and on the go. The Pella Windows and Doors podcast studio is live on WTMJ.com.
Catch a battle between two of the National League's best when the Brewers take on the Braves Friday, August 21st and Saturday the 22nd. It's a weekend of great matchups and great events as the Brewers celebrate Black Culture Fest at the opener Friday the 21st, featuring live art, live music performances, and a maker's market. Then it's Hank Aaron replica jersey giveaway day on the 22nd, courtesy of UW Credit Union. Don't miss it. Get your tickets today at Brewers.com.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
One more time.
All right, Jessica's feverishly working at getting this link back to our texters on the talk and text line.
Coming up right now. We're making it easy for you.
She has instructed me she will not be adding her recipe for egg roll in a bowl, however. That may come at a later date.
Some of our fans did write back and say they ended up making it after we sent the recipe.
Well, it doesn't surprise me, right?
Yeah.
People are all
but
about
I sent
food.
you the recipe, and I still don't think you've made it.
I've not yet. No, I do want to get around to that.
It's fairly easy.
Speaking of egg roll in a bowl and things on a stick, a reminder that we will be at the Wisconsin State Fair on Thursday. We have a shortened show because of Brewers baseball, but we begin our run at the fair on Thursday afternoon. It's going to be a great run. Looks like the forecast is going to be solid here for the first 4 days of the fair. So we've got Thursday, all day on Friday, and then again all of next week at the Wisconsin State Fair. It begins in earnest. We've got a list. We've got a list compiled here of some interesting individuals we will speak with. We've had some very interesting individuals in our studios over the last couple of years, including the guy who juggled flaming cream puffs, which was something that he had never done before. But we thought, why not do it in studio with that fire?
Oh, Mike Spalding, our boss, already told us not inside this year.
Okay.
And on your day off, I was trying to look for our guy's number, and I was searching my phone because I have him on the phone because I thought it's about time to check in. I assume he's going to be back at the Wisconsin State Fair. He was there 2 years in a row, but you never know. So I was going to check in with him. And I was going through my phone. I thought I found him because I saw a guy named Torch in my phone. And it wasn't the guy. It wasn't our state fair guy. And so that just cracked me up.
You have another guy named Torch in your phone?
Torch, and then I was I was searching flame. What is it? I got to look up this show because I kind of stopped at that point. But he's in there somewhere. I just got to remember what I dubbed him as.
Well, speaking of a guy who likes to juggle flaming cream puffs, John Mercure will be in with Wisconsin's Afternoon News with Julia Fellow. They begin in just a few minutes here. Brewers baseball later tonight. Our coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ, and we just learned that one of the newest members of the Brewers, Dustin May, will make his Brewers debut on Thursday afternoon. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is next.
Restaurant inflation is everywhere, but not at the Mine Chef family restaurant in Hartford.